The Adams County Sheriff's Department. Basically, what was their intention in doing this raid?
They thought I had people tied up in a dungeon.
Could you imagine being the police officers and you believe that? I feel like if I had a dungeon in my house, I'd be home every day. Not that I am home every day.
Then you had your divorce with, I guess, your first wife later in time.
I went through a bad divorce.
Look at that. Thick white girls. Dr. Umar would be upset here.
Marriage is like a short end of the stick thing for the man. She can stop going to the gym, you know, fart on you late at night.
Fart on you late at night? Isn't that the goal? Wait, not mine though. It's other people's.
But before we get into that, what role did 9/11 play in your life?
That's crazy, brother. What a fucking wild question.
Nothing was bigger than because I got high, except the fucking Empire State Building crumbling to the ground.
That's fucking wild. Okay. Maybe if you knew it was the Twin Towers, you'd be like, oh, I didn't know it was that bad. I thought it was just that one building.
So back in 2024, you ran for president. How do you think the current guy's doing?
I can pick the things I don't like about him.
We could go from Donald Trump, a fucking loser, to what Japan thinks of Americans.
Charlie Kirk. We ought to bring back public executions.
All right. That's a hell of a way to start that out. All right, guys, this looks interesting. Afroman, I actually did a video. I covered a video on him a little while ago. It's on the Papa Got Leftovers channel. Okay, I'll try to remember to link it below, but if I don't, just go find it. It's right over here. I've been posting more on this channel. Afroman's aura matches the way Japanese manga depicts Americans. That's a good title. That's a clever title. It's on the Papa Got Leftovers channel. It has a little more slop on here. So yeah, man, go for it. Take a look at it. It's fun stuff. But anyway, I'm interested in this interview with Channel 5. I always love Channel 5 stuff, and I like Afroman. He seems like a pretty solid, fun guy. So,
Officer Sean,
who is unjustifiably targeted by the police. Terrible stuff.
Cooley is Officer Poundcake. He's the biggest star out of all of them. I don't know. I think Lisa took his place. Lisa's down on this totem pole. Randy's number one. Randy's the man.
Officer Randy Walters.
His name is Run the Stop Sign, Wreck It Randy. We're not required to do that, Walters.
What the fuck? Did he run a stop sign?
That's his name. Yeah.
And what can you tell us about him?
He's the guy that inspired me to make music about the whole situation.
That's beautiful. It sounds like this guy's a class act.
Randy Walters is a son of a bitch.
The worst thing I said was Randy Walters is a son of a bitch. That's why I f***ed his wife and got filthy rich. But I said that to Randy Walters. I didn't say that to the police department. He's the guy that pissed me off and cracked a smile. He thought it was funny that my door was on the floor.
So he was the most pumped.
It's not nice, dude. You should never think it's funny when somebody's door is on the floor. You know what I mean? Don't fuck with a man's door, okay?
Best douchebag of them all.
No. After I started watching the body cam footage and My House Village, Brian Newland was like a human snake. All of this came from him. He rammed the door, he kicked the door in, he was reading my bank statements, he wanted in my safe, and he always stayed out the camera. He didn't want to be on no FaceTime with me.
Damn, he's a smart, I mean, it sounds like a smart guy, you know? Sounds like he's not that dumb.
He was trying to get me. He didn't want me to put a face to it. You know what I'm saying? I got more respect for Randy Walters than Brian Newland.
Who disconnected the surveillance cameras?
Lisa.
What's her nickname?
Damn. They probably made Lisa do it too, dude. Fucking getting her in trouble, bro.
Lick 'em low, Lisa, full of shit, Phillips.
Jesus Christ. These are insane.
Lick 'em low, Lisa.
Is this AI?
Shit, Phillips.
Lick 'em low, Lisa. Lick 'em low, Lisa.
What makes her lick 'em low?
I was just mad at them all for...
But I mean, like, what's the inspiration for the nickname?
I like to keep the same constant.
Or are you supposed to lick them high? I guess you start high and you move your way low.
It going. So her name was Lisa, so my brain just took off in the L section. I was like, Lisa. Lick 'em low, Lisa. I got the triple up, cuz. 3 names for the set, cuz. Lick 'em low, Lisa. And
it's perfect. I love it.
And her name was Phillips. So I was like, lick 'em low, Lisa, full of shit, Phillips. We from LA, we used to call it bagging. The homies bag all the time. It's like breathing. It ain't nothing. Oh, look at you big basketball head fool. Look at this motherfucker. You don't want to bag with me. I come from the best, you know? So
I'm saying, is it AI that he's hugging the girl, or did he hire a girl that just looked like the fucking police officer? That's the question.
I just started capping on her easy, you know.
Bro, one of the funniest things in the courtroom was when his own lawyer was like, "Do you really take this guy that seriously when it comes to these videos? He's wearing look at his outfit, and it's just like a whole American like flag thing, and it's kind of a good point because like obviously he is to an extent a troll, but his trolling was justifiable.
It was just play. You know, we some Marines, man. We some veterans, soldiers. Our play is violent to them. It's like some lion kittens playing with an actual cat. They might heard him playing with him like, hey, buddy, what's the matter? Why are you so sensitive?
You think the mouthpiece just overpowers their ability to even process what's going on?
No. when you make a spectacle out of them and people laugh, they can't take it. They can't take it. We got to.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to take it either, dude. But I like to think I wouldn't break into somebody's house. What's funny is it seems like none of them even like cared, or at least like some of them didn't really care, and that was a bigger issue too. They broke into his house, no apology, completely unjustifiable charges. It's fucked up, dude.
Gotta take it every day. Every American
Damn, she's thick. What the fuck?
citizen gotta take it. Get pulled over by the cops, wrote a ticket, motherfucker smack you, take it. We take it. They can't take it.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Andrew Callaghan, and you're watching a Channel 5 exclusive interview. Today we're going to be talking to Afroman, real name Joseph Edgar Foreman, a laid-back, stoner-based, and often comedic rapper and performer who first blew up in 1998 out of Palmdale, California.
Damn, that's a long fucking time ago. I do remember listening to his songs. They were like meme songs, you know? He was one of the first memers, dude.
A high desert town just a stone's throw from LA. His breakout hits included Crazy Rap, aka Colt 45 and 2 Zigzags, and also Because I Got High, Because I Got High, Because I Got High. Two quintessential
Is that actually the whole entire title name? Damn.
Stoner anthems that define cannabis culture around the turn of the millennium. Since then, he's released a steady stream of music and has maintained a small, albeit dedicated fan base. However, he'd have another explosion.
I mean, maybe this was good for shit. Maybe this was kind of good for him then, man. I kind of put him back on the map.
In popularity around 2022 that nearly rivaled his breakout decades prior. This came after he dropped a diss song titled, Will You Help Me Repair My Door?
Will you help me repair my gate?
Damn. I actually watched this whole song offline. That's how good it was, dude.
Will you help me repair my door?
Which was basically a diss to the cops, directly naming the Adams.
Bro, I swear to God, this is AI.
My door.
Which was basically a diss to the.
I swear he's using AI. I'm telling you, you guys questioned me before. It's funny, but I knew it. I mean, unless this is an actual lemon pound cake bread costume that he's wearing. Maybe it's real.
Cops, directly naming the Adams County sheriffs who'd raided his Ohio home at gunpoint based upon a questionable warrant that implicated Afroman in narcotics trafficking and kidnapping.
The warrant said narcotics and kidnapping.
In the process, the sheriffs broke down his door, destroyed his gate, disconnected his security cameras, pointed semi-automatic weapons at his young children, and one sheriff—
Damn, I didn't know that he fucking pointed weapons at his kids. That's fucked up. What the hell?
Afroman calls Officer Poundcake, appeared to come within an inch of scarfing down what was left on the kitchen counter.
Yeah, but can you fucking blame him though? Come on, man. Look good as fuck.
Despite finding no evidence of narcotics or
The lemon pound cake did look good though. I'm gonna be fucking real with you.
kidnapping during the raid, Adams County sheriffs refused to apologize or help him cover the cost of the property they destroyed. So Afroman deployed creative means to increase public pressure, dropping not one but a series of diss songs that detailed the incident extensively, once again showing the officers' faces on screen each time and outlining his plans to file a lawsuit. But before Afroman could file his lawsuit, the sheriffs filed their own.
A legal battle over privacy for office.
Damn, they could have just left it alone and just been kind of embarrassed. It signal boosted it so much. Although the songs were doing really well, so maybe it wouldn't have really changed too much. I don't know.
Officers involved in a raid. At the center of it, rapper Afroman.
Somehow, the judge approved their motion, and the defamation case went to
Well, dude, I remember watching the part of the lawsuit, and it seemed like the judge like wanted to be on the police officer's side, like really bad. I forget which one. Like one point, it was just like it just seemed super fucking biased.
trial.
Every bit of this was a lie, and you knew it.
Shouldn't have threw a fake raid.
After multiple years in court, the jury ultimately ruled that Afroman's
What's a lie? The lemon pound cake song? Like, what do you do with that? It's fucking parody. I feel like it's definitely protected under fucking free speech, especially since they're police officers, you know?
his songs were covered by First Amendment free speech protections and that he wouldn't need to pay the sheriffs a goddamn dollar.
Yeah, we did it, America. Yeah, we did it. Freedom of speech. Right on. Right on. Yeah. God bless America. Yeah.
Afroman was ecstatic, as were millions of Americans across the political spectrum. Anyways, enjoy the interview.
My name is the Hungry Hustling American Dream, / Afro-American Wet Dream, Afro Moneymaker.
Gives me like WWE vibes, dude.
Marijuana smoking MAN, and I am a singer, rapper, free comedian, musician.
And so for somebody without a TV and no social media access, how would you explain to them what happened with the case and over the past couple years?
freedom of speech has been challenged.
How can you take me to court when you stole my money and it's $400?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that too. They stole money from him, and they were like, "Well, we didn't admit we stole money. We admitted that it was $400 short." But they didn't. You know what I mean? Like it was such a strange distinction. I don't even think he got the money back. I don't think he got any of the money back either. They really fucked him on that.
$1 short.
There's the original Americans who want their freedom of speech, and there's like this new legal breed that's evolving that want to challenge that freedom of speech. You know what I'm saying? Like they say hate speech makes this new evolving group want to challenge freedom of speech. What they call it, defamation.
Well, yeah, I mean, there are people who just like say they want freedom of speech, but they really just want to say like really hateful things and not get punished at work, you know?
They have all these different variations of speech that want to challenge freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is such a broad statement. People are, you know, they're starting to take little cracks at it here and there to see if it can be freedom of speech under certain circumstances. With my case, we feel like overall freedom of speech won. In America, you can say what you want to say, good or bad. Now, they say if you tell a lie, that's defamation of character. But I did my research, and I wasn't
Well, he didn't tell any lies. He made a fucking parody song.
telling any lies. You know, it was a fact. The cop, I was trying to figure out who the cops were. So as I zoomed in on them, I'd take a picture of them, then I'd go do my homework and research. Who is this guy? I put him up. Who is this guy? And people would pop up. Oh, that is Brian Newland. Yeah, his brother was a police officer too, and he got fired because he was a convicted pedophile.
What the fuck? I didn't know about that.
You know, I started finding out who these strangers were walking around in my house. So
Wait, this guy was a fucking convicted pedophile? I'm surprised. Frankly, I'm surprised they fired him from the police department. I'm just going to keep it fucking real with you.
to the general public, you have freedom of speech, but don't lie on people, because if you lie on people, then they can possibly sue you for defamation of character. But you have freedom of speech, especially if you're telling the truth. And I feel like I won because I was telling the truth. I was doing my homework, and the police officers who raided my house, they didn't find anything. They didn't charge me. They vandalized and kicked down my door. They placed themselves on my video camera. They placed themselves into my music career. Therefore, the jury,
I wonder if he would have won. It's just funny to see a thick white girl next to him. Two of them. Who would have thought? It's just so funny to me. I wonder if there was there's obviously a lot of social media pressure or public pressure, which is a good thing. But I wonder if he would have won if there wasn't. Because I don't know, man. The judge gave me some fucking vibes, dude. The judge gave me vibes that he did not give a fuck about the Afroman's case, and he would have definitely told him to go fuck himself.
They found me not guilty of defamation of character. So that's a big nutshell, but that's the fastest way I could burrito it for everybody.
Raid my house and then get pissed, cause the dungeon don't exist. My proof's on the internet.
I'll tell any citizen that's broke, if you don't got no money for a lawyer, you get you some damn good videotape footage. You get your evidence, and you...
Well, I imagine they may not have the evidence if they don't have money for a lawyer. They probably don't have money for a fucking Ring camera, you know?
Stand on it. You yell it out loud. You repeat it as much times as you can.
Like on social media and elsewhere.
You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. So have your evidence, have your videotape, put it up on the media just in case you don't lose it or anything get goofy. Stash it as many places as you can. Get your facts straight. And you don't need no money with the truth. When you've done all you can do to stand, you stand and you yell it out. And this life is...
Yeah, if it didn't go as viral, he wouldn't have had as good of an outcome. That's true. I mean, you could argue that this revitalized his career a little bit, though, but, you know, good for him, man.
The war against good and evil. Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. But fight.
You mean like on a deeper spiritual level?
Yeah, this whole life is a battle between good and evil. Is it good for you to vandalize my property, kick down my door, steal my money, flip off my surveillance camera, and then try to sue me in court? Is that good?
And then potentially like eyeball some lemon pound cake to look pretty good on the counter.
That's not good, man. That's bad. So the good people have to fight that element. You got to fight it with money. You got to fight it without money. You got to fight. You know, if everybody leaves you alone and everything is fine, you know, don't start no trouble. But man, when trouble kicks down your door and trouble steals your money and trouble looks at your lemon pound cake, sometimes you can't be no wussy. You got to pull your pants up. You got to go out there and address that trouble. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're the man of the house. Women get to have babies and you can't hit women. You have to respect women. You hold the door.
True. I mean, I don't know where this is coming from, but yeah, I mean, I guess I agree. What the fuck? So fucking random.
We're open for them. There's a woman's role and there's her duties. Then there's a man's role and his duties. So when the government kicked down your door and
All right, this guy's starting to get kind of weird to me. It's starting to get a little bit weird here. The fuck?
scare your kids and steal your money, a man got to stand up to the government. A man got to stand up to anybody that's doing wrong.
Yo, Phoenix, Arizona, what the hell is up? Yo, Atlanta, Georgia, what the hell is up? Yo, El Paso, Texas, what the hell is up? You guys, guess what? I'm coming to your town to screen 2 secret documentaries, host a sick-ass talent show, maybe some rap battles for something called the C5 Carnival. I'm currently in Texas on tour right now, but having some fantastic shows. You can buy a ticket right now. You can see 2 secret documentaries. You can see rap battles, maybe a talent show, definitely, and a moderated Q&A. For show, if you buy a ticket right now at www.channel5.news. Remember, Atlanta, El Paso, Phoenix, we need you. www.channel5.news. Tickets on sale now in the pinned comment and description box of this video. All right.
So there's a quote that you have that you once said that your dad said. And your dad's from Mississippi, right?
Texas, but we lived in Mississippi.
Okay, you lived in Hattiesburg for a
Yes,
while,
sir.
but
Yes,
he comes
sir.
from, what part of Texas is he from?
He's from Marshall, Texas. He's from the same town George Foreman. We think George Foreman is our family member because that town, Marshall, Texas, is too small for 2 Foremans to come out of that to come out of that same freeway exit. You know what I'm saying?
So you said your dad once said, son, I'm not going to whoop you for fighting. I'm going to whoop you because he was standing over there. What does that quote mean to you?
My dad taught me how to avoid a fight. He said, you defended yourself. You didn't let that boy beat up on you. He said, so I ain't gonna whoop you for that. I'm gonna whoop you for being in a place where you can get in a fight. I'm gonna whoop you for being in a position for a fight to come to you. Because if you was home doing what you were supposed to do, you wouldn't have got in a fight.
Well, you know, that's interesting. I mean, I'm not a big fan of hitting. But then again, this guy's old and I'm less old. And like, I was at the tail end of the generation of like parents hitting their kids and it being considered acceptable. But you know what? I could appreciate the general sentiment of, hey, be conflict avoidance. I don't know if you get whooped for it, but I can appreciate that. I don't think that we talk about that enough. And I think that there's a lot of spheres, very toxically masculine spheres, where you're considered a pussy if you run from a fight. I'm not saying run from a fight. I mean, like sometimes you might have to fight, but you could do a lot to avoid being in a fight. And fighting, frankly, is poverty behavior. It's either professional athlete behavior or it's poverty behavior. There's no in between. If you're in a boxing ring or MMA like that, I respect that. That is an institution. I get that. But if you're just fighting because like you're like a lot of people go around looking for fights. They're like, oh, I hope somebody does this to me so I don't. I want to get up and I want to go home to my wife and I want to have a family and I want to relax. I want to fucking jack off. I'm not looking for a fight. And I think that that's something that people should understand. Don't try to be in a fight. Remove yourself from being, if you have to fight, you have to fight. But in most cases, you can walk away. Is it really worth arguing with some fucking asshole that cuts you off in traffic? Yes. No. Like just that person's, maybe they have a shit. I try to think of it like that. You know, maybe they cut me off because they have to poop really bad. I've been there before, you know?
And what I'm thinking is,
I've been there. I've been there.
Is those police officers, their daddy never gave them that little 7, 8-year-old whooping that
True.
I got.
Well, I don't know if you need to. That's good. Getting whooped at fucking 8 is crazy.
So they're unaccountable.
I mean, you know, valid. Same here, but I don't know.
They make a mistake and then they cry and point the finger and they want to throw little fits until they make something bad happen to me. They're not getting the point. The point is you wasn't supposed to be there.
Yeah.
All rivers lead back to the ocean. All my statements and my points lead back to the nutshell point. You had no business over here. You got some bad information. You didn't do your homework. You moved too fast. You vandalized my place. You put yourself on my cameras. You stole my money. You disconnected my cameras.
And you never got the money back, dude. Fucked up.
You didn't want to help clean up the mess. And then when I do what I got to do to clean up your mess, you want to sue me for using my methods of redeeming my place.
Yeah.
So,
hey, listen, I think it's valid. You know, if you guys suggest, this is why I do. You know, I wonder if the reason why they didn't apologize because it would have opened them up to some kind of legal liability. But at the same time, dude, like, you know, you not doing the right thing and apologizing made everything worse. You guys would be like, listen, we're really sorry. But I mean, who the fuck knows? It might have been like a racial thing. Like it might have been racially motivated. That's probably why they did it. I wouldn't doubt it. Some fucking backwater police department. You think they're not being racist? You know?
You came out on top, at least for now.
well, thank you, brother. Hey, man, all I can do is fight and tell the truth. I mean, I can stand there and be quiet while that keeps going on.
Yeah.
Or I can say something. In the movies, they go, stop, thief. Now that dude was getting away till somebody put him on blast. Thief! Everybody know, hey, whoever's moving right now is some bad dude, and he can't move like he did. Now if he didn't say nothing, that dude gets to get away with no hassle. But that's why we have freedom of speech. That way, when we have a problem, we can acknowledge that problem. After we acknowledge that problem with our freedom of speech, we can address that problem. After we address that problem with our freedom of speech, we can solve that.
Bro, this guy went from making songs about smoking weed to becoming like an actual like meaningful free speech advocate.
That problem.
They vandalized my property, my money came up short. They disconnect my cameras because they are a poor sport.
Are there any other areas in society
Fucking poor sport. Like, what a stupid line. I love that.
right now where you feel like freedom of speech is being eroded in some way?
Everywhere. Now, I notice how the sheriff department, the same sheriff that's suing me, they assisted the Nazis to have their freedom of speech.
What the fuck? Ohio town orders review of police response to neo-Nazi demonstration. If there's a group that doesn't deserve freedom of speech, it's them. But still, like, that's fucking crazy. You're going to go after Afroman for making songs about how you guys unjustifiably broke into his house with a fucking bullshit warrant, but then you're going to defend literal Nazis? I don't know, dude. Maybe a racist police department? Possibly.
And I want the Nazis to have their freedom of speech.
I don't.
But what I'm saying is let me have mine too. Don't give the Nazis freedom of speech and tell me I can't say nothing.
I mean, yeah, might as well have him run for president at this point. We've got fucking Trump. You know, at least we could go from Donald Trump, a fucking loser, to what Japan thinks of Americans. Because he literally is. This guy is what Japanese people think of Americans. Like, they would make him, but he'd have like muscular fucking arms. He'd still be like heavy, but he'd have muscular fucking arms. This guy looks exactly like a character from a fucking anime in the way of like, oh, like he would, in any anime, he would be the American president. He would be what they think America, like what they think America is, except maybe pre-Trump. I mean, at this point, who the fuck knows?
Let's all have freedom of speech at the same time. That's all I'm saying. Be fair with the freedom of speech. Don't be partial with the freedom of speech. This guy has freedom of speech, but this guy doesn't. You know what I'm saying?
So you think that points to a broader problem, like as far as how law enforcement gives preferential treatment to certain groups in the country?
You know, I'm gonna just look at my eyeballs for right now. For right now, my eyeballs see sheriffs helping Nazis in and out of U-Haul trucks, helping them have their freedom of speech.
You talking about Patriot Front with the white masks that do like different rallies across the country?
Right now, I'm just referring to some Nazis.
Like actual American Nazi Party people doing demonstrations. In Adams County.
And I'm not knocking them.
Okay.
I'm just saying I want the same privileges they got. That's all I'm saying. I'll stand for freedom of speech. I want a guy to say when he has a problem with me. I want to know it. I don't want him to shut up and he's holding all that inside.
That's actually kind of valid. Wait, that's like the same as the people who like don't ban the Confederate flag or anything because it's like a warning sign for us. So we know who to avoid, you know?
I want a man to have freedom of speech. So I want the Nazis to have their freedom of speech, but I want to have my freedom of speech also. Everybody should have freedom of speech. If you're from America or in America, you should have freedom of speech.
So backing up from the
I agree with that. Thank you, brother.
court case, going all the way back in time, I want to talk about Texas. I want to talk about your dad, and then the move to LA. You talk a lot about
His dad. What the fuck?
your dad in interviews. Was he a special person and a big influence on your life?
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
That's beautiful.
He didn't pick fights, but every now and then he'd stand on a principle. I seen him go get his pants hemmed one time. He was from the military. He's accustomed to that straight hem. This new hip seamstress wanted to do like some of that cool slant Miami Vice BS with him. And he was telling like, no, I don't want my pants hemmed like that. He said, I want my pants straight at the bottom. And then the guy goes, everybody do it like this. And he was like, I am not everybody. And the guy looked at him, he looked back, and the guy just slowly went down and got it like he wanted it. Not to be hard.
Yeah, why would you fuck with a man's pants? You know?
Hard to work with, but when he's right, he stood on the principle that made him right.
So a firm defensive position.
Dude, like I say, you don't want to walk around picking fights, walking around. I'm not telling you to be a bad dude, but when people kick down the
Well, no, it's about standing on your principles. Like, it sounds like he wanted his pants done a certain way. It's his money. You know what I mean? Do what you want to do. That's a little different than, like, you know, fighting over some dumbass, like, you know, fucking traffic bullshit, you know?
Jordy, where your family live, it's time for a man to stand on some business and stand on some principle. Like, you need to see if they were right. And if you're right and they're wrong, stand on it. Stand on it. Buck naked with your boxers on. Nope, you wrong. You ain't got they got army with a whole bunch of...
That might not be a bad idea, getting a little naked with your boxers on. You know, that could be a good disarming tactic, you know?
Guns. If you don't got time to grab your gun and grab your bulletproof vest, you stand on the facts.
So in the Afroman case, the sheriffs actually needed a warrant to figure out where he lived, what his family members' names were, and his previous residences. But guess what? Nowadays, with fast people search sites,
Oh, damn, we're going crazy on these fucking ads, baby.
$5 can
I don't blame them. I think right now YouTube's ads are a little rough, I feel like.
let any Joe Schmo figure out where the heck you live. That's right,
Joe
where
Schmo.
you lay your head at night and sleep peacefully, perhaps next to your lemon pound cake. Let me break it down for you. So there are hundreds of
Yeah, that's why I have diabetes, buddy.
companies called data brokers that have been quietly building files on you for years.
What about the mama brokers? You know what I mean?
That's right, you. Your home address, your phone number, your relatives, your purchase history, maybe your porn history, packaged up and
What? I mean, dude, listen, you want to fucking look at my porn history. That's your trauma, not mine. You know what I mean?
sold to whoever wants it. This type of thing has had lethal and horrible consequences. For example, a lone gunman and conspiracy theorist murdered Minnesota State Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband and dog at their home. Court documents show that he found their address on one of those people search sites that are powered by data brokers that have been collecting your information.
Well, if that's true, that's true. But it seems a little insensitive to bring that up here. It seems a little fear-mongery, but okay.
Your entire life, which is not cool, and why this video is sponsored by Incogni, which you can sign up for right now at incogni.com/channel5 and use code channel5 for 60% off. So Incogni works on your behalf to get your info wiped and removed from all databases. You just sign up, grant them the right to act for you, and watch as they work magic. And by magic, I mean doing the tedious work of contacting all these data brokers directly, making phone calls, submitting removal requests, and keeping their foot on the gas when these goddamn data brokers try and play dumb and say, we don't know how this info got here. Yes, you do. Take it off, Incogni. About a month ago, I signed up and I currently have over 24 removals in progress right now, thanks to Incogni. And guess what? On the Unlimited and Family Unlimited plans, they just launched custom removals, meaning you can be a researcher too. You can look yourself up. And if you find your info on one specific site, you can ask Incogni to hit them up for you and get it down. If you're on that plan, they'll even pair you with a privacy agent, a real
You know the drill, guys. We always watch the ads.
flesh and bones human being who will fight on your behalf and once again keep his foot on the gas when these data brokers want to play dumb and say, hey, this is Incogni, take that down. As I mentioned, do me a favor and just go to incogni.com/channel5 and use code channel5. Again, 60% off. Link is in the description box and pinned comment of this video. Remember, if shit hits the fan, the feds can't use
We're a fucking Bucky's hat? What the fuck is happening here?
what they can't find. All right.
Back to the upbringing. Did your parents meet in Texas?
No, they met in L.A. My dad's from Texas, my mom's from Alabama, but they
Alabama.
both, you know, there was like this flight of black people from the South that went to L.A., Chicago, other northern, you know, the black flight, all the blacks that were leaving the South, they went to different metropolitans for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Mine,
Probably a little bit better in the cities. Probably a little, I would imagine it's a little less racist in the cities, you know, because you're going to be held to a task a little bit more on different laws. Or, you know, I mean, you imagine. I imagine that cities, generally speaking, where there's more population density and more news and media coverage, especially back then, probably a little safer and a little less racist than like the backwoods fucking areas where, you know, it was easy for the cops to get away with more shit. But
and went to Los Angeles.
Yeah, I was curious because that was like the Civil Rights Act was passed in '64. Then you had the Second Great Migration, which created the flight to Oakland, South Los Angeles, places like that. So I'm assuming your dad followed that path.
Yes, sir.
Did he feel like the promise of the West was fulfilled in his move to LA?
At the time, I guess it was a good move at the time. My grandfather, he moved to Compton on an ox and a wagon. He rode an ox and a wagon from Texas all the way to Compton. And he bought his property in Compton for $7,000. I think a house in Compton is like $2 million now. You know, $2 million, you get shot in the ass while you bringing in your groceries and shit. You know what I'm saying? We curse on here. Or,
Yeah, you can say whatever the
okay.
fuck you want, man.
All right, brother. I'm trying not to, but you know.
Okay, you can say whatever the hell you
well,
want.
you just, if you wanted to, you could just censor, you know.
You don't gotta go all the way there.
All right, but
I've never been to Bucky's. I've been to Stewart's. You ever been to Stewart's? They have pretty good donuts. Stewart, Sheets. These places are pretty good.
we got the option, right?
Yes.
All right, I just love the option. All right. So at that time, it was the economic thing to do because I don't think you could get land in Texas for $7,000. I don't know back then. It was all about, they were suckering people to LA. There was jobs was out there. It was like
Oh, if you're suckering people, if the jobs are out there, you know what I mean?
a move back then. It's not a move right now, but back then it was a move.
So moving there in the 60s and 70s was a great time period for black
Whenever
families.
they got there, because like it might have been in the 50s, 40s, but I don't know. At some point, my grandfather moved from Texas to California.
So you were born in 1974 during a very transitional time period for LA, for California. What do you remember about your early life, like being elementary school age?
I remember afros. I remember bell bottoms. I remember people dancing outside of the laundromat.
He's still chilling on that fucking he's still chilling on that fucking look, man. Can't blame him. Sometimes that's all I did when I was younger is I would just wear different metal shirts, you know. Iron Maiden, Camelot. So sometimes I do that now. I don't.
To shake your booty.
But I guess now, you know what's weird? Nowadays I wear shorter shorts. Or you can see that when I was young, wearing shorts that were dude, I'm gonna fucking actually shit my fucking pants. Wearing shorts that were like that were above the knee was considered gay. Now I wear shorts that are above the knee all the time. I like to show off my legs, you know.
I remember telling my mom, "Ooh, mom, they said a bad word. I thought booty was such a bad word." I remember palm trees. I remember the Southside Christian Palace where I sung my first song. But I was a baby. Then I moved to
Not quite booty shorts. We're getting there though. But you know, maybe they called thigh highs. What is a thigh high?
Alabama at 5 years old.
Okay.
And I stayed between Mississippi and Alabama for like the next 5-6 years. So I came back to California when I was 12.
And you lived on 69th and Western?
Yes, sir.
And what was your life like there? What kind of stuff were you getting up to?
Oh, man. I think that's where I got my hustle and I don't know. It was a major point. It's like where I started rapping. That's the first place I saw rich black people, guys with hair longer than the women. I started seeing like police officers just jump out on any random black person. I realized that we all looked alike and we were all suspects until they figured out what was going on. And police helicopters. I'd never seen a homeless person. Everybody in the South had somewhere to go. It was a raggedy shack where he could sleep at his auntie, somebody's house, or it wasn't no homeless people in the South. So I never seen people sleeping on the ground. I never seen graffiti. I thought that was nasty. I didn't like that. You're like, what the hell? They right on the damn way. Everywhere I looked, it was just like nasty. But I like palm trees. I love the fact that it didn't rain. That was tripping me out.
Damn, graffiti. Do you guys remember? I feel like graffiti's so normal, you know, nowadays. Maybe just where I'm at. Maybe I live in a different area than you guys, you know. But graffiti's like so normal where I live.
I went back to the South. I heard thunder. I jumped on the ground. I thought somebody was shooting because I ain't heard thunder in so long. I forgot about it.
Was there a particular like police brutality incident that you remember witnessing as a young kid in LA that like really stuck with you?
I never really saw, we all saw Rodney King, and I knew it was going on. I'd hear stories. I'd see people the next day, and they'd tell me stuff. I would just see the police be rude, not aligned. Searching deacons coming home from church. They'll
Damn. Fucking going after the church, man. That's fucked up.
get a gang call and be searching Bill Cosby on the side of the road. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just seeing unapologetic police officers. I definitely knew that they were aggressive, like another type of aggressive. And aggressive I didn't even see in Mississippi, because in the South you had to actually do something. It wasn't as random as it was.
Yeah. A lot of people like characterize the South as being really backwards, and they make it seem like the West Coast has it all together.
No. The West Coast is the frontier of racism. Like
Maybe I was wrong from before.
are innovative with racism. Like some.
I see. Like I was saying before, there's bigger infrastructure there, so it's harder to get away with stuff. So you just get more clever to be racist. That's what we're saying, It's like the South is you put a mouse in a fucking maze, but the maze is just there's cheese right ahead. Whereas in the big cities, you put a mouse in a maze, and the cheese is like you got to go around and find it. You just have to be a little more clever with your racism. And then so this is how it manifests. You're like counting or not counting gang violence. Boom. Racism. Now it makes sense to me.
Somebody somewhere right now coming up with more racist terminology, more racial jokes, more, it's on the frontier of racism. Yeah, California, I believe it's the most racist place in America.
What are some of the ways you saw racism baked into California society that you didn't see in the South? Like maybe something that was more behind the scenes?
Okay, a racist cop in the South, he thought he was better than me. He didn't like me, but he'd still be polite. Good morning. You look like somebody we looking for. We just need to make sure you're not him, and we'll let you go. And I'm sorry for the inconvenience if you're not this guy. A California dude was more unapologetic and kind of happy. Even if I wasn't the guy, he was still kind of happy. He treated the N-word bad. You know what I'm saying? So California had more unapologetic racism. Mississippi had a traditional, understandable racism, but it
That's interesting. I wonder if there's because I know this is all anecdotal, but I wonder if part of it has to do with like in the smaller areas, everybody kind of knows each other a little more. It's a little more personable, whereas in the big cities, nobody really knows each other, so like they don't have to feel like you're as much of a human. Does that make sense?
It wasn't. It's there, but it's not as rude.
Yeah. And also,
it's a little more classier racism,
Yeah, like Colonel Sanders style racism.
Like, don't start nothing, won't be nothing. They feel how they feel, but, everybody know what's up in the South. But L.A. is up for grabs. So everybody want to spray paint on the wall, claim their territory. Everybody want their own piece of paradise, and they don't want to share it with, another nationality or group or whatever. So if you think about LA is the most segregated city in Los Angeles, you know.
You mean
Probably. I mean, fine. I mean, in general, yeah. There's also going to be part of the segregation that's like desired. I know it sounds silly, but I know in New York, there's like Asian areas segregate. There's some communities like to segregate. I'm not saying it's everything. I'm not like, oh, hey, racism doesn't exist. That's not what I'm saying. But some areas like intentionally segregate. Obviously, white people do it by forcing you out. But then other people are like, okay, I want to be, you know, a black community or an Asian community. I'm not saying that's all of it. It's usually one of those things where, like, once you make money, that segregation starts to kind of wane off a little bit.
in the state or the country?
I'm gonna say in the country. Of course, you know, Mexicans outpopulate everybody, but there was a time when each race stayed somewhere in the city. The Mexicans had East LA, blacks had South Central, Watson, Compton. White people had West LA and Hollywood. They had the beaches, Santa Monica, you know, all that good stuff. It was a real segregated city. It's the most segregated city. 3 racial riots, probably even more. You know what I'm saying? Like, blah blah.
Was there a period of more like black unity in South Central before gangs became so prominent, like during the late Black Panther era?
You would see it when the police beat up, like when that little girl got killed over that orange juice.
By the like Korean store owner?
Yeah. Or Rodney King, you know what I'm saying?
But you never went down the whole like rabbit hole of like the systematic like deconstruction of like certain communities in LA.
Yeah. You know, dude, God bless America, the land that I love, land where my fathers died. But if I was to keep it real, black people wasn't brought to America for America to be beneficial to black people. Black people...
Well, yeah, no, black people were brought to America for black people to be beneficial to America, you know?
Were brought to America...
They were used as slaves.
America to be burden bearers, to make life convenient for the white people who bought them. So there's an element in America that gives black people the short end of the stick. Now,
yeah, of course.
All white people ain't like that. The good white people need to influence the bad white people a little bit more, a whole lot more.
I mean, I agree with that 100%. And I think that that's very fundamental to like MAGA. Not to get too fucking brain broken, but I know he makes some crazy Charlie Kirk Taylor. That's one of those things is like, I know there are a lot of good Christians, but I see almost none of them speaking out against the deplorable nature of like MAGA. You know, like you see James Talarico, that's great. But like a lot of times, you know, Christians will be very full MAGA, at least from what I see. And then there are some good Christians, like my people in my family, like my mother and mother-in-law, that still voted MAGA, but they're like, they don't want to say it out loud because they know they're fucking stupid for it. But then I don't really see a whole lot of people that are like, yeah, I'm godly and I don't like the pedophilia. I don't like the rape. I don't like the covering up of the Epstein files. I don't like the new wars in Iran. I don't like all the horrible tariffs that are killing people. I don't like people getting shot in the streets. I don't like, you know, splitting up even illegal immigrant people from their families if they've been here for like a decade trying to do the right thing. Like this doesn't feel very godly. I don't see enough of that. And like, yeah, it's like this, it's comfort or cowardice or both. It's comfort and cowardice. So I really wish that more people, conservative people, would kind of stand up to MAGA because I feel like you all can't be this fucking stupid. Maybe you're all like brain broken and you're just like, oh, it's either left or right, so I'll go with right, even if it's actually fucking Satan. But Jesus Christ, it's fucking it's crazy. I agree.
So, yeah, the government put crack in the black neighborhood. That's bad.
True.
That's bad. I don't like that. But
I thought Bumpy Johnson did that, dude. What the fuck?
Black person got to learn how to say no. I don't want your crack. The government do what it do. But despite that, you know, all the strides that Afro-Americans have made. You know, we went to France. I think they call them the Harlem Hailstormers or something. France praised these men, the Tuskegee Airmen that helped win the World War II. It's a reason why ICE can't deport me. Everybody got to go home except this guy.
Yeah, definitely.
You can put me in prison. You can hang me from a tree, but
Jesus.
No, I stay.
So going back to
that was a CIA in the 60s. Bro, I've been watching Godfather of Harlem. It's a good show. The first season's amazing. Second season's okay. Third season's unwatchable, to be honest with you. If you're a Godfather of Harlem fan, I'll tell you the exact moment in season 3 that made me stop watching the show. Bumpy's daughter, I think her name was Elise. There's a moment where May's like, that's Bumpy Johnson's wife. You know, they're, yeah, that's not Elise's mom, but they're doing a whole thing where they're trying to get like a legitimate business deal. So she's like, yeah, I think I might have to fudge the record and make it seem like I've owned this business longer than Bumpy because I'm a legitimate business owner and he has like a criminal background, or I would be considered one because I have no criminal background. And Elise is like, you're gonna defraud the government? That's bad. And I'm like turning off the show. This whole show is about like black people trying to get ahead by doing illegal shit, just like Italian people were. And all of a sudden you got Elise, that's like chastising May for trying to fudge the books a little bit to have a legitimate business. And I'm like, show off. This doesn't make any sense to the character. Also, they changed they also changed the actor for Malcolm X, and I mean, the other guy wasn't bad, but like the guy that they started with was so good. It was so fucking good, dude. He was so good. That it like kind of hurts the show too. So there's just too many fucking. I turned it right off with that fucking Elise interaction. Watch Barry. I've seen Barry. Barry's amazing.
L.A. What prompted that move to Palmdale?
When I was living in
I just like watching black propaganda. No, I like watching gang propaganda. Like I like The Sopranos and shit. So it's like, yeah, like that's the way you got to reverse racism. More good gang, black gang propaganda. Don't just let the white people have the cool ones. You know, we got fucking Peaky Blinders and the fucking Sopranos and shit. The Goodfellas, you know, Godfather. You got to get some good black propaganda, you know?
Los Angeles. I was trying to go to school and do my homework and everything, and I was the only child, so I was trying to fit in with the little boys in my neighborhood. So I started claiming the set. And
which, for those who might not know, means a gang.
Yeah. I started claiming my section of LA. We say set, claiming the set. I started claiming my section of LA. I went to school, I went to junior high with my rivals, and there was no way that I was gonna complete junior high school with my rivals as deep as they were at that junior high school. So I told my dad about that. So to give me a clean start, to be able to finish school, he took me to Palmdale. He did his homework, he did his research, and he didn't realize, he didn't know nothing about gang. He was a good old black man from Texas. All black people we was all slaves, we was all poor, we was all in the ghetto. He didn't know what the problem was. He didn't understand none of that stuff. But once he seen what was up, he realized he moved us somewhere crazy. He said, okay. So he went up to Palmdale, he bought us a house up there, and that's how I got to Palmdale.
Before you went there, did you ever have any encounters with like Tookie Williams or Big U?
No, I think Tookie was gone before I came along. He wasn't gone like dead, but I think he was in prison before I came along. The Rolling 60 set was like, that was a foreign country to me. I didn't stagger around there meeting different Rolling 60s. You know, I didn't know no Rolling 60s.
On the gang, the Boy Scouts. Well, I mean, I think that black gang, like some gangs started because the Boy Scouts didn't let black people in it. What a fucking shame, dude, because the Boy Scouts was such a great experience for me, and it would have been such a good experience for like a lot of young black men. You know, especially at that time where racism was a big thing. It still is. And now Boy Scouts is fucking so gay. Like, it's not even, like, dude, who the fuck joins Boy Scouts anymore? You know what I mean? Like, Boy Scouts is like a really great time where you get together and you go camping and fucking hiking and you learn to use knives and you shoot guns and you fucking learn to make fires. And I just feel like now it's just so dead. And they're crying that they, you know, it's so funny that like all these fucking conservatives are crying. They're like, oh, why are there girls in the Boy Scouts? Blah, blah, blah. This is killing Boy Scouts. Like, well, one, I think girls may want to do some masculine shit. I can respect it if you want to like hike and stuff. But then two, you guys, like the whole reason for like fucking some black gangs was because you didn't let black people in. So your racism created another problem. You were racist. Now girls are allowed in. So stop being, this is a fucking sign to stop being so fucking racist. And then you won't have these fucking problems, man.
Even though you were on 69th.
Yeah, that was the north side. Like my set, we expanded across Florence.
Wow, incredible. It's still called Boy Scouts? No, it's called the Scouts. I think now though, one of the things is like you can't I think you have to have, like if a girl wants to join Boy Scouts, I think they have to have a girls only troop. Like you can't do boys and girls mixed together. So
the H-Ray gangsters run the 80s, and they took over the 70s. Then they crossed Florence, and they started nibbling on some of those 60 streets. So when I came there, and I moved there on 69th, it was H-Ray gangsters around, and, I started getting, I was a little boy, I started, knowing them and affiliating with them. And they was taking over, they started pushing cats on the west side of Western and north of 67th Street.
Did you feel like when you went to Palmdale, things calmed down a bit and you could focus more on like school and music and stuff like that?
Yes, definitely. You can get in a fight in Palmdale too, but it wasn't like LA. LA, there was no choices. LA, it was what it was in LA. You know what I'm saying?
I want to hear about the song that you made in 8th grade called Harry Carey.
So gather around, young cholos, blood
I would have made a song called Harry Balls.
and Crips, while I rap about the hair on Carrie's lips. It goes, Harry Carey, Harry Carey.
Man, you know what? The other day, I called myself you got serial killer, right? I called myself a serial rapper. Like,
dude, I had some cereal before. It was so good. Actually, it wasn't that good. They're Fruit Loops. I feel like Fruit Loops are a little mid. I only had them because they were in that box set. You ever get the box set? Yeah, it was in the box set, so I kind of like, I had it. That's why.
I'll take
Frosted Flakes are fucking goated as hell.
you out lyrically. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was in the 6th grade, Raymond Elementary. This girl had a lot of money.
Wow.
She had some real fancy clothes, and she picked on everybody. Me and all the other kids, we were poor and raggedy, and we couldn't buy $50 tennis shoes and $100 jumpsuits. And so I remember,
You know what's so interesting?
she was cute. She was a real cute girl, but she was real mean and rude.
It's so interesting because I had like the opposite issue in my school back in the day. So I went to a predominantly like Black and Hispanic school. Well, maybe not predominantly. It was like literally like, well, it was like 70% Black and Hispanic, and then like 30% white and white plus, and white plus is obviously Asian. And I remember I would get bullied because I wasn't poor. You know, we weren't like super rich. My mom worked for White Castle, but we got bullied because we weren't poor. We weren't cool. We were not allowed in the back of the bus. I remember I just got picked on, and this kid's mom worked for J.C. Penney. I was fucking crazy, dude. It was crazy. And now J.C. Penney's is gone. That's not really relevant to the conversation, but fucking weird how times are. Fucking weird to get bullied for being poor. Also, I would wear summer clothes. I would wear winter clothes in the summer to hide my fat, but it just made me look fatter. You know what I'm saying? I'd wear a jacket in school when it was hot out because I felt self-conscious. And that was back then. I wasn't even that heavy compared to nowadays. I'm fat as hell now, man. Back then, I was a little overweight. What was considered fat back then, man? That's what shaped me today. Because I remember I would drink a can of Diet Coke for lunch thinking I'd lose weight, and I would go home and I would take slices of bread and I would ball them into a fist and I would just eat the globs of bread because I was so hungry. It's fucking crazy. What the crazy, dude. Wild.
And she had like a slight mustache. Her lip was kind of dark around the tip. So I wrote this rap song exaggerating about her mustache. I had, there was Lottie Dottie, so I made Harry Carey. I kind of structured my song like Lottie Dottie.
You still have JCPenney at your mall? That's actually insane.
But I turned to Harry Carey. I wrote it, and then I had my friend beatbox, and so I said it. Harry Carey ate her own cherry. That's why her lips are very, very hairy. You know how they used to say you go down on a girl, you get hairy lips and stuff.
I've never heard that before, man. I've never heard that before. I guess that means that fucking PCOS girls really go down on that fucking pussy well, then I guess. I don't know.
So I said, Harry Carey ate her own cherry. That's why her lips are hairy. They was like,
that's crazy, bro.
Like, ooh, in elementary school, that was a good line. Ooh, you're gonna like this one because it's a winner. I remember one night she invited me to dinner. She opened the door. I sat at ease. That night she cooked some macaroni and cheese. I did not care. Put up my chair, opened up my mouth.
What the fuck is this? Stomp of the yard?
Got a mouthful of hair. I said, Carrie, what you put in this trash? She said, I'm sorry, Joseph. That's my mustache. I looked at her and I said, what? She said, I tried to shave, but the razor wouldn't cut. I asked my dad, my mom, my pa. I got tired of listening. I crunked the chainsaw. I cranked it up. It began to run. Afroman about to have some fun. Try to cut her hair. It began to pop. Snap. I said, it began to smoke. Snap, crackle, pop, and the chainsaw broke. I said, Harry Carey, try to calm down. You done ran all the barbershops out of town. Don't get mad.
I love that he remembers this whole thing, dude. This is crazy. This is like my wife who fucking she memorizes all the musicals that she's like ever did when she was younger.
Don't complain. She had a hairy leg friend. I put her pants leg up. I said, go chill out with hairy leg Charmaine. And I ended on that. And the whole school, like I said, rap was a craze in the late 80s.
Yeah.
If you attempted to do it, people would gather around you like a fight or breakdancing. All the kids at the school was just, I was on top of
like a fight or breakdancing. That's just interesting to me because that just means that there were like a whole group of kids getting around when somebody was breakdancing. You know what I mean?
this bench with
I thought that was just like a movie thing.
my buddy beatboxing, and we just had a whole sea. The whole recess was over there, and the whole school just went nuts when I pulled up that girl's leg and said, hairy leg Charmaine, and they was like the two school bullies. So that was like my first rap song against the bullies.
And what effect did that have?
Everybody started calling her Harry Carey. Anytime she tried to pick on anybody, they'd start singing my rap song. Like she had to chill out and start treating people nice.
So you humbled the bullies. You're like a
I guess sometimes I guess bullying does work, you know?
social vigilante.
Yes.
Early on in life.
Yes.
And
That sounds like that power could go to your head, you know?
that was the first time that you used those creative means to get over on someone who was putting you down.
Yes.
And you still do that.
Only when I have. Only when that's. Don't make me do it. Don't
Don't abuse that power, brother.
make me do it. Lemon pound cake. Only when necessary. Because if it ain't necessary, I just want to get high and have some cold 45 with 2 zigzag. You know, I just want a nice rap. But you know.
I heard even the name Afroman itself is a rebranding of a nickname someone tried to give you to put you down.
Yeah.
Oh, that's smart, dude. That's smart.
You know, like I'm trying to make.
Have I heard of party cruise? I don't know what the fuck that means, dude. I don't know. I've heard of Terry Crews.
It looked good, like, I didn't have no voluptuous, nice afro. I had the spiders in a meeting going on. I had that little intermediate situation going on. And the girl was like, hey, you boy, Afro man, pass this up to the front.
Fucking boy is crazy.
And everybody started laughing. And that name was kind of sticking. Everybody like, hey, Afro man, they'd laugh. Afro man, Afro man. Because everybody had bald heads in the mid-90s. Tupac, Michael Jordan, any serious black man that was seriously trying to get at a good-looking black chick, he had his hair cut. And that was like requirement number one.
I mean, that kind of makes sense only because, like, I feel like an afro is a very black hairstyle. And, I would imagine that, like, the more racist a community is, the less they're going to like a black hairstyle. So that makes sense, Get a haircut. If you didn't have a decent haircut, a girl would give you a ride home. She'd give you some food. Ooh. But if you thought about asking her for a number, she'd give you some food. That's interesting.
And your hair wasn't right. She you need to go get this shaved and cleaned up. You can't be out here with me.
But you didn't fold to cultural peer pressure. You kept the afro rocking, and you own the nickname.
Because of my finances, I couldn't get that $10 haircut every 2-3 days.
So if you had some
2 or 3 days, you got to get a haircut every fucking 2 or 3 days. Is that real? Is that like a black thing? Jesus Christ.
And you would have been Michael Jordan bald.
Yes. If I could have, I love to be fly. So if I could have been fly, I would have been fly, but I couldn't do it. And I was trying to go to school, I was trying to eat, and I just couldn't get my hair cut every day. And so I had an unattractive afro in the mid-90s, and people used to call me Afroman. And then I seen Too Short, and he was saying how he went up to girls saying, yo, I want your number, I want this, and I want that. And he was saying how the girls told him he was too short. And the girls always told him he was too short. And he said he started putting it on hats and shirts and everything. And he said it worked. So I thought I'd try that. I was trying to figure out how I could get fly with Afro Man. So I noticed it was 7 letters, and it had an O in the middle. I drew an afro around the O and a little stick man smiley face. And then I made it Afro Man. And I embraced it. I started wearing hats. I started wearing T-shirts. And then I made a rap tape, and I couldn't fight gravity. I was like, all right, Afro Man. I mean,
that's smart, dude. I never thought of making my own merch. That was like that would say something like the fat guy that didn't smell, because that's what they would say. That's what a couple people would say in high school. For me, it's like, you smell pretty good for a fat guy, and I'm like, you know what? That's probably, there's a compliment in there somewhere. That's called that's when you're thinking that the glass is half full. It's like a half full kind of a conversation. It's incredible.
Start working. When I walk up to a dude clowning me, calling me my name, he's like, you can rap Afro? They'd put it in, check it out, be laughing. Hey, this Afro Man, take me. It was working. It worked better than, Heavenly Henry or Poetic Paul and,
So in between Harry Carey and then owning the name Afro Man, were you still making music?
Yes. Matter of fact, I was looking for a rapper name. I was trying to go with Jay Natural. I was trying to do everything. Man, my phone's ringing like a dog. I'm sorry, I'm gonna turn this thing up.
Afroman is obviously.
I was thinking about a rap name, White Shadow. What are we thinking about that one? How we feel about that? Is it good?
He dealt with his fair share of his civil rights being violated and being stalked, followed, and tracked by the cops. Have you ever had a moment where it feels like
it's another fucking ad already.
You're being watched? Not metaphorically or as a result of a mental health.
Only when I'm doing the whole cuck thing. I'm usually the one getting pegged, though.
Health diagnosis, but feel as if your devices are keeping tabs on you and developing a digital paper trail that they use.
Probably, dude. They always know when I want McDonald's all the time. Just kidding. McDonald's is kind of fucking mid, honestly. McDonald's is kind of shit, if I'm being fucking real with you. I just feel like it's disgusting now. It doesn't really taste good. It's like almost like an addiction, But we're like, oh, we're eating so much McDonald's at this point. Just kind of commit to the comfort, It's just like, oh, it's familiar.
Used to push even more targeted ads and products back onto you. Well, all that is true. And as we mentioned in our previous 5cast, every search, online purchase, and click that you've ever made online goes into a private dossier that is owned and traded by data brokers. And you know who one of their biggest clients is? The FBI.
Probably the mama brokers.
The U.S. federal government. Fucking pigs. That's right. The federal government could right now possess an entire dissident dossier on you based upon those 3 a.m. internet rabbit holes that you go down when you thought nobody was watching. It's a dark situation, bro. But what if I told you there was a service that could protect you and protect your private internet history from being...
I've been thinking of that all the time.
Scooped up by these...
Bro, let me tell you one thing, though. You know what the worst thing about McDonald's is? I'm going to give you a hot take. You all can be pissed off at me if you want. Chicken nuggets. Worst chicken nuggets out there. You know what it is? When I eat the chicken nuggets, they're so fucking salty. And it just makes me sick. Eating McDonald's chicken nuggets makes me sick. I know the fries can be salty too, but they don't make me sick. Not like the chicken nuggets. The chicken nuggets make me sick as fuck. Wendy's nuggets, though, honestly, fucking top tier. Class act.
crooked cops as you actively search the web. Well, guess what, Pendejo? Great news.
Whoa.
There is, and it's called NordVPN. This video actually is sponsored by NordVPN. NordVPN.com/channel5.
Wendy's is good. You know, Wendy's is good. I just feel like Wendy's is consistent. It just doesn't do anything really well. It's solid. It doesn't do anything like really well where it makes me like, oh, I'm going to go to Wendy's. I'll only go to Wendy's if it's like a proximity thing. It's like, oh yeah, that's the most convenient right now. You know?
NordVPN masks your IP, encrypts your connection to the internet, and their threat protection feature blocks malicious sites, trackers, and intrusive ads. So what you do online, you know, within reason, stays yours and yours alone. The best deal on the
within reason, I like that.
internet for a VPN is through our link, nordvpn.com/channel5. Through that link, you get a huge discount on a 2-year plan, plus 4 additional months free of charge. Holy shit. Again, that's nordvpn.com/channel5. Also linked in the pinned comment and description box below this video. And guess what? If you don't like it, they got a 30-day money-back guarantee, motherfucker. So you can get that bread back if it doesn't work, but that's impossible because it's the best. nordvpn.com/channel5. All right, back to the video.
So we talked a lot about 8th grade. The first time I smoked weed in 8th grade, I was listening to your music.
Well, I want to.
Damn, I've never smoked weed before, but one time I smoked weed at my job and I got so fucked up and I didn't get fired because I never found out about it. But I did drive home and it's not good. Driving home high is not good. This is a story that never happened. So, I also greened out once and I haven't touched weed since. It was fucking crazy. I had a whole bar. I took a bite and after like a minute. I didn't feel anything. So I'm like, I don't feel shit. So I ate the rest of the bar. And I just got fucked up, man. It was crazy. Don't do that, by the way. It's not smart. Contrary to popular belief, it's not smart to do that.
I thank you and apologize at the same time, man. I didn't mean to influence you at such a young age.
Well, you didn't make me do it, but it was like the essential weed music at that time. So I think people probably want to know, when was the first time you smoked weed and was it a positive or negative experience?
I smoked some weed, but I wasn't getting high at first. You know what I'm saying? Like I was smoking like some, you know, when you first start smoking weed, you don't know if you're smoking some good weed or some Bama. You don't even know. You could be smoking parsley. You don't even know. Until you get high, you start realizing, oh, okay, this is what it smells like. Oh, this is how I'm supposed to feel. You know when you're getting ripped off or not. So at first I didn't know what I was smoking. I was pulling these little joints and I was scared of some kind of crack high that I couldn't, so I didn't want to get addicted. So I smoke a little bit and see, does it kick in 30 minutes later or, you know. I think the one time I really got high is when I had a homeboy. He had a car in his backyard with no wheels on it. It sat on bricks. He got some good weed one time. He was like, man, you my homeboy. I love you. He said, man, come over to my house, man. I got a special treat. He called his 3 best homies. It was me, another dude, and another dude. We was all in the
That's so beautiful. I love that.
back of this. We was all in this car. I'm in the front. This other dude in the front. He in the back seat. He light up 4 blunts. We might as well not even pass these things. The passing them was a joke because then another one was coming. It was like a mind game or something. He said, don't roll down the window and waste my money. And it's like, I ain't never had that much smoke. It was like stupid. Like tears was coming out of my eyes. My tongue was a rug. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Your tongue was a rug. What the fuck does that mean?
I'm like, I gotta get out of here. And so he finally said, okay, y'all can get out. And when we opened up that car door, that's when I got my little dance. Cause I feel like the coyote on
It kind of makes sense though. You don't want to waste that smoke, you know? That does make sense.
Roadrunner when they slow it down. So I remember I was walking. It felt like I was floating. Like I couldn't really feel my legs.
And you were 16?
What the fuck?
I was older. I'm a late bloomer.
Like after high school?
Yeah. Because I was playing football in high school. I thought you was a bum if you smoked any kind of dope. Even if you drunk beer, I just thought you was a goofy ass, you know. I might have been, I'm gonna say.
It's so interesting. When I was younger, I grew up. What did he say he was?
Any kind of dope.
After high school?
Yeah. Because I was playing football in high school. I thought you was a bum if you smoked any kind of dope. Even if you drunk beer, I just thought you was a goofy ass, you know.
That's so funny because like I had the opposite impact. Like, you know, obviously he has songs about smoking weed and stuff, and he smoked a lot of weed after high school. I didn't really smoke or drink anything. When I was younger, I would drink a lot. I drank beers at like 13 13, 14 years old. I'd get together, we'd get to family parties, and my mom would be like, yeah, you could drink some beers. My uncles would feed me beers, and they would make me fucking drunk, dude. They would get me fucked up. My pants were sagging. You know, that was when that used to be funny. You know, white people thought that was funny. They would make fun of people for that, maybe because black people sagged their pants, you know. So, you know, racism everywhere, am I right, guys? And same thing with my cousin. He's around my age. We get so fucked up. And then I got older. Now I'm not like a huge drinker. I didn't really drink too much after high school or really college or anything. Now I get drunk every once in a while. I get fucking wasted. You know, just every so often when there's like a reason for it. And then I smoke cigarettes. And I only smoke cigarettes when I'm getting fucked up. Because, dude, you really can't beat a cigarette and like 15 beers. You know what I mean? you just get that fucking 15 beer cigarette. That chaser. The things are fucking crazy, man. I love them.
Might have been, I'm gonna say 20, because I smoked some Bama weed when I was 18. I didn't try to do it every day. I like to drink my 40s. At 18, I was a 40 man. Hit me a Newport, you know, I was cool.
And was Colt 45 actually your favorite 40, or was that like a behind the scenes brand deal?
Man, I wanted an 8-ball because all the famous gangsters drunk 8-ball. All the gangster rappers drunk 8-ball. 8-ball was the ghetto Republican beer. He was like a rich ghetto dude when you spent $5 on a beer. When you spent $5 on one beer, you know, $5 was a lot of money back in the day. I couldn't afford $5 beers, but Coke 45 cost $1.25. I remember I got this one song I say, standing in the front of the liquor store with no dough, trying to bum a foe. Oh, 8-ball costs $3.84. I can't afford that. I'm young and po. Coke 45 costs $1.25, and I'm trying to survive. If I ask 5 people for a quarter, I'll be just like the bathroom, out of order. I used to be bashful, used to be shy, and all that stuff, but I could bum 5 quarters from some strangers outside of the gas station and get me a whole 40. And then I like the way it made me feel. Like 8-ball gave me like this bad hangover the next day. But I could pop up and play basketball after I drunk a Coke 45. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't feel it. It was like, okay, everything's fine.
That's a pretty special.
That's how I feel when I start drinking water after I'm done being drunk. You know what I mean? I try not to get too fucked up the next day. That's how you reduce a hangover. You get you drink some water, and you eat. This is the play, right? On the days you're gonna drink, you don't eat anything until you're ready to not be drunk anymore. This way, like let's say you start in the afternoon. Maybe you start around 6. That's not really the afternoon, and you don't really eat too much up until then. Maybe a little bit of cheese and some grapes. And then you get fucked up, and then like 2 or 3 in the morning, you start eating some fucking pizza, cold slice. You know what I mean? You get like a nice hot regular slice. You put some cold mozzarella cheese on it, and you just start tanking 4 or 5 of those fucking things. And you start drinking some waters. All of a sudden, you drank for 7 hours. You're fucking fucked up deep. 7 hours. You smoke a half a pack of cigarettes. You drink a ton of fucking alcohol. All of a sudden, you have some cold slices of pizza and some water. You're good to drive. And the drives, they're like that because you're so fucking drunk. You don't even know, you have no concept of time. So it really works out extraordinarily well, in my opinion. That's just my strategy. It's a strategy for professionals though, so maybe don't abuse that.
So talent, you could drink a 40 and play basketball right after?
I'm just kidding, dude.
Talking about like the next day.
Did you end up graduating high school or not?
No, I dropped out of the 11th grade.
And was that like out of music?
So did I, dude. I dropped out. It was so funny. I used to be an accelerated student, and then I just didn't want to go to school anymore because I came off my ADHD medication and I felt free. So I was like, I don't want to go to school anymore. But I was so advanced that like I didn't do anything in 11th grade, but I could have still passed the 12th grade if I just got my shit together. And I just didn't want to, man. I don't recommend it. Dude, I'm fucking jumping, but I'm not. So I'm like so cucked right now. I don't recommend it. So
musical passion, or you just weren't feeling school?
A combination of things. My parents was breaking up. They were letting the house go in foreclosure in Palmdale. So I had to choose which parent I was going to go with, and
that's a fucked up choice to give a kid,
in the middle of the school year. On top of that, I want to rap. There's no college for rappers. So I'm sitting around in school, just sitting here and just, douchebagging around. I could see me staying in school if there was a rap class. There's no rap class. I study hip hop at home with my tapes and through the game. So if I was to be honest with myself, I was basically through with school. So my parents was leaving. My mom was going her route. My dad was going back to Mississippi. I figured I'd go down to LA and try to become a rapper.
How'd it go?
LA's the entertainment capital. I couldn't tell myself I was going to make it musically in Mississippi versus the music capital. How do you leave LA and go to Mississippi to make it in the music business? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like little farm boys was walking with they belongings on a stick. Everybody's trying to get to LA so they can make it. Fresh out of high school, I thought my best move to go down to LA and try to make it rapping. Go hard and try to make it.
And back then, like obviously way before the internet, what was the standard marketing protocol for putting yourself out there?
There was the Cinderella story of dropping off a tape to Dr. Dre or, letting some dude in the industry hear your song. There was that. And I think that's all I knew at the time. Now I knew Too Short sold tapes out the trunk, and I was willing to do that while I was waiting.
That's so funny because I remember when I was I would talk to the guidance counselor because they were trying to motivate me to go to this class. And they're like, what do you want to do when you grow up? And this guy wanted to be doing music, so he had a passion for it, so it worked out. I mean, it's not always going to work out for you if you have a passion for something, but if you have a passion, you're more likely to work hard. And I remember I was like, oh, I want to maybe do music. You know, what fucking else do you say as a teenager? 17? You know what the fuck you want to do? And that led me to pretty much, you know, fail. I wish guidance counselor would be like, listen, be a fucking HVAC guy or an electrician or welding. You know, these things can pay well. And even if you don't love it, it can make money and you can be happy. I could have been like, oh, that's cool. I like that. But no, they don't really recommend you do anything productive. They're just like, maybe just go to school. Maybe just go to high school. Maybe just go to college. You just fart around. Oh, do a drum thing. What the fuck are you? Like, are you an idiot? You know what I mean? Like, are you a fucking moron? People are so fucking stupid. Fucking guidance counselors are fucking worthless, honestly. Holy fuck. You know? Like, actually, give me some productive advice. You got like a dropout asshole fucking teenager. Tell me to go do something productive. Like, what is wrong with you? It's so stupid.
For a big deal. I was ready to do whatever was moving. So I was ready to go to the studio, make me some songs, make me some albums. I was ready to sell them myself. And then if I could get a deal, you know, I'm with that. But if I can't, I was ready to keep my trunk popped on my car and to keep slanging them.
You mentioned style. You've always kind of had like really colorful suits and different like sort of pimp hop type, you know. Did you listen to a lot of Bay artists? Is that what inspired a lot of your fashion, or was that also happening in LA?
I take what I want from every.
That's how I feel. I feel like Afroman, except I have a lot of meme shirts. I have a lot of shirts with memes on them. Like one that's like a cat that says, there's microplastics in my balls. It's kind of like, I think it's kind of equivalent here.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
I go shopping in the humanities store. So what I see, I take. Whatever I like, I take.
Is a humanities store the same thing as like a Good Samaritan or something? A Good Sam? Good Samaritan, is that a store? Savers? Am I thinking of Savers?
I've seen some clean preachers. I've seen some pretty clean brothers. Ice-T is our player in LA. He was pretty clean. You know, we got good weather in LA. So you ain't gonna see the mink coats in LA. You might, some rich Hollywood movie star party that I can't go to coming from South Central LA. But we had Ice-T. Ice-T was the flyest player.
Oh, dude, that's the guy on Law and Order. Isn't it crazy that he's a Law and Order guy? You know? Isn't that so fucking crazy?
That I knew in LA. And you know, you got a little bit of the game everywhere.
He's good in Law and Order too, man. He's fucking great.
You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have your fly New York cats. You're gonna have your fly Atlanta brothers. Right now, I think I'm gonna give it to Chicago. You know, that's where I really seen some clean brothers.
Was there somebody in Chicago that put you onto the game? Or are you self-made through observation?
A little bit of both. I went through a bad divorce, and I had a lady take.
Look at that. Dr. Umar would be upset here, but you know, thick white girls.
Some money from me. Damn. That I didn't think she deserved. And I was just,
she might have, who knows?
Just looking at all the complications I went through in my marriage. Then I look up and I'm seeing guys with, 5, 10 women paying them, and they driving, living good. I got one woman taking half from me, and these dudes got 5, 10 women bringing everything to them. And I was wondering.
Hey, you got to be careful, dude. Listen, if you get with somebody and you get successful, chances are they're part of the reason that you were successful, man. That's just how the game works, player. It is what it is, boss.
Well, what I was doing wrong, so I was just like, I was fascinated. Fresh out of a divorce that broke me for some money, I'm fascinated with a guy that gets paid, and he got 5, 10 women, I'm like, how do you do that?
Well, it's probably because they're wasting all their money on these girls and just that they look cool.
Yeah, so blah, blah, blah.
And the second part of the question, was there a person, maybe a style or game icon that put you on?
I was inspired by the whole game, but I guess Bishop Don Magic One. When I was sad and depressed, I'd watch him in his Rolls Royce. I'd watch him looking good, and he'd be talking positive. Man, stay down, keep your head up. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. It's like all them players, they had a little saying or something that would make you, that inspire you. They'll say something like, stay down like 4 flat tires. When all the buildings in New York City fall, I'm gonna be standing tall. Just something that make you want to get up off the ground, brush yourself off, and say, you know what, let's go for it.
Did you ever have one?
I like that. He's talking about pimps. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about it like that. He's talking about pimps, true. What the fuck was I thinking, dude? I'm thinking like something else. I'm not thinking pimps. If you oh, what the fuck? I can't go through them. Obviously, I'm not thinking about pimps, so.
One, like a phrase?
Yeah, I got a phrase. My phrase, I had to outdo all the players that inspired me, so mine is Kenny Red, rest in peace. I like to say, stay down like 4 flat tires. Lee Mack, rest in peace. Stay down. and come up with your money. I'm the hungry hustling American dream / Afro-American wet dream, the rock and roll gangster, the Kenny Red rest.
I feel like instead of having one good one, you got like 18 okay ones, you know?
It's a piece of reefer rap, the Don Juan, the Dank, the Pimp the Ink Pen, Money Q Green. There's these, I got my lines.
Who do you think's on the Mount Rushmore of old school pimping?
Okay, everybody say Iceberg Slim, but I missed that boat. And he didn't like what he was doing. He didn't like himself. So me personally, I'm gonna exclude him. In my book, it's gonna be Don Juan, Kenny Red. I like JoJo, and I like Scorpio.
Siwa? What?
How many people's up on Rushmore?
4 presidents up there.
And I like Pimp and Ken. I think he got the best mouthpiece in the game. We was just talking about dressing. My Mount Rushmore is I got inspiration from their dress, their wardrobe.
Yeah. So just to clarify, pimping isn't cool, but pimps dress cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And another thing I wanted to talk about too is I saw you don't say the N-word in your music. What kind of prompted that choice?
Well, first of all,
That's an interesting question.
the N-word is the most, I'm trying to find that word that's said in the dictionary. It's the most offensive word in the English language. I don't like being greeted with it. I don't address my brothers and sisters with it. Like, if you're on the Lakers, you're not gonna say, fuck the Lakers. Or if you're an Englishman, you're not gonna walk around saying, hey, what's up, limey? You know what I'm saying? If you're...
I mean, I get what he's saying. But what's up, limey? I like that.
a Mexican, you're not gonna walk around going, hey, Beaner, what's happening?
That's crazy. August said to that, but that's fucking crazy.
You know what I'm saying? I don't feel black people should disrespect the home team. I know in America, they hear it so much. Like if I had give me a bunch of white kids.
All right,
They're all,
right here.
Yeah, they're all give them to me as babies.
Here you go.
Right, all right. And when I see it, I say, hunky, 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 hunky. I separate
It sounds like a good song.
them from the older white people that love them. The older white people that's gonna give them dignity and pride and say, hey, we're Americans. We're white people. I separate them from them people. And I got them over here in my little chicken coop. And I'm like, you're a honky, 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 honky. What are those little white kids gonna grow up saying?
Cracker, honky.
And then they're gonna shake, they're gonna be like, what's up, my honky? They're gonna have pride when they say it. Hey, what's up, honky?
That's interesting. Listen, it's hard to have the conversation. I mean, like, I'm white. I can't really have the conversation of like, yeah, black people probably shouldn't use the N-word even with the A on it. I understand the argument is like, hey, we're taking it back. But I've never really heard this argument of like, hey, and maybe there even is some kind of like racial undertone where white people called black people like the N-word, and the references is they're bad, or like the bad kind of black person. And you've almost been coded by fucking like racist white people to continuously say something that just codes you, it just codes you as like an inferior person, and now you're walking around saying like, hey, that's just his argument, not mine. It's interesting. Hey, you're inferior. Every time you say this, you're basically just saying, hey, you're one of the, you're somebody that would be considered inferior. At least, excuse me. At least historically. So that's an interesting argument, man. I never heard that before, but that's interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting, dude. What the fuck?
And uninformed, because I done separated them from the people that would give them the dignity and pride to say that. So I'm thinking hundreds of years ago, the black people that couldn't speak English, nigga, 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 nigga. Sometime I watch a movie, the slave would be like, whose nigga is you? They don't know no better. They don't know they're the original man God created. They don't know they invented the pyramid. They don't know the Moors took knowledge to the Greeks and the Egyptians and the Moors brought knowledge to Spain and Europe. They don't know they're these intellectual people. All they know is what this guy that don't like them told them.
Yep, and basketball. I'm just kidding. Sorry.
My reason why I don't like the N-word. I don't think black people should call themselves that. I guess that's it in a nutshell.
I guess growing up, and I grew up in what they call a diverse environment where it was used a lot, and I was always told that it was a way of reappropriating a word that was used to dehumanize the community. So it's like,
it's interesting because I never really because I grew up in a very black and Hispanic area. Never really heard the N-word before. Okay, I'm getting fucking ass twisted right now. It's triggering the fuck out of me. I never really heard the word before, even though there was like such a strong, black and Hispanic community. I don't know why. Maybe it just wasn't cool back then.
By using it ourselves, we're taking that power away.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna piss on you, and I'm gonna tell you it's raining. Is that rain just because I say it's rain? No, that's piss. I salute them.
All right, I think fair enough. Some people like to be pissed on, man. You can't don't yuck my yum. Wait, not mine, though. It's other people's, not mine.
Brothers that tried that. And I understand, ain't nothing wrong. Like, if I stick you with a pin, it's typical if you jump. I got to salute a brother that don't let the N-word hurt him. He use it. He get with him. Like, you can't hurt him like that. I salute that. At the same time, no.
Yeah. At what point?
That's interesting. That's a very empathetic take, too. because he's like, I hate this word, but I understand that they're just trying to say it. Oh, that actually makes sense. It's like calling yourself Afroman. Like that's the N word is just like calling yourself Afroman. Interesting. Okay, I fucking hate this game.
In your life, did you come to that conclusion?
I think when a Mexican walked up to me and said it, I didn't like it no more.
You've been back to LA in a while?
No, I left LA because of it. I didn't want to go to prison because it was too many people using the N word that wasn't black, and I couldn't kill them all. So
okay. It's maybe valid.
Oh, I knew I better leave before, you know.
Well, Mexicans in East LA don't typically say that.
A real Mexican don't say it. You got the, you know, like, I don't know, whatever, you know, like people hate us, but they imitate us. I'm gonna say that again. People hate us, but they imitate us. You know what I'm saying? My dad said black people invented low riding. He said it was like in the 50s, and he said black people used to wear zoot suits. He said black people, the black jazz musicians used to wear zoot suits. And he said that, you know, the Mexicans that play the oldies, Motown, they play them now. They play them, like if I dig up Smokey Robinson, it won't be a picture of Smokey Robinson on YouTube. It'll be like 5 cholos standing there. And I'm trying to, you know, when I pull up a Smokey Robinson video, that's how much they didn't like embraced and intercepted Motown and all of the classic soul oldies that
I like the Motown. I used to listen to Temptations a lot and other stuff like that. Oh, fuck this
black
game.
Americans made. You know what I'm saying? You know, people hate us, but they imitate us. You know what I'm saying? So I was listening to that lefty guy talk. He was like, yeah, in the penitentiary, we got ours. We let the blacks know, like, yo, you know, you guys are over there, but we got ours. Oh, but when he gets out the penitentiary, oh, he wants to rap like the black guys he want to kill in the penitentiary. No, keep that same energy when you get out the penitentiary. No. Don't come over here using our rap music. You go over there and sing La Bamba. And a black dude wrote that from what I heard.
That's crazy. Maybe, I don't know.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I imagine maybe it's a little different being in jail. You're kind of forced into like deep tribalism, but I get you.
So I ain't mad at him. It's like just all that N-word using, and then the black people that give other races the green light to disrespect us. Like, you know, California, you know, like, you know, I love my hometown, but it's a lot of stuff there, you know, that I don't like. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go back, but like I gotta live out in the desert. I need a whole lot of space, and I gotta drive around to my love. I just can't just be out with like random people drinking and just saying whatever, and, you know, whatever.
But you feel like the popularity of the music is the driving force behind the appropriation of black forms?
You know, I think brothers should have thought about it. I think NWA should have been brothers with an attitude.
Yeah.
Instead of, we all get it. I get it. We was all mad. And you know, one time I called a girl a bitch, and she turned around, she said, I'm gonna show you a bitch. You know what I'm saying? So like, I think a lot of black people kind of got that attitude like, oh, we some niggas? Okay, all right, we're gonna show you some niggas. We're gonna burn all this shit up. We're gonna fuck up. And so they just running with that junk. But I think we should have just held on to the brothers. Because now, you know.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting thing. Well, that's like classic rage bait. Calling somebody the N-word is classic rage bait, right? You're saying something really fucked up about somebody, and then you're hoping that they have a disproportionate reaction so you can justify calling them that in the first place. It's like the I'm not touching you. It's like, oh, you know, call someone the N-word, and it's like, oh, look, they get really offended by that, right? Which makes sense. And you're like, oh, look at you. You can't control yourself. You know what I mean? It's like one of those fucking, and they'll be like, it's just a word. It's like, okay. Like, we obviously know that words have meanings to them, you know? You tell somebody that gravity is real, and the same people that are like, it's just a word. So you tell them that like fucking gravity is real, the earth is like round, they start having a fucking meltdown. So,
you know, you got all kind of non-blacks just using the N-word, and you know.
I don't know if they would have got the record deal if it was BWA.
They could have said F the police as, yeah, they would have got it.
You don't think that there was like a conscious agenda behind promoting some of these words on like a corporate entertainment level?
Well, I mean, I think that it was probably called that because it was like provocative, and that was probably part of their success.
Sorry?
Do you think there was a conscious agenda like in promoting gangster rap in the 80s?
Yeah, but see, they can't promote what you don't do.
Gotcha.
Yeah, if a lady take off her clothes and start wiggling right now, I'm a promoter. But if she don't take off her clothes, I can't promote her.
So it falls back to individual responsibility of the person.
Yeah.
So you mentioned NWA, you mentioned Mississippi once, which made me think about Soulja Boy, who's also from Mississippi, and he said that he was the first viral rapper. But if I think about it, I think it would actually be you with the song Because I Got High.
Yes.
That was the first viral.
I think that's Soulja Boy, though. I think he, it was a Soulja Boy that like really popularized ringtone music. I think that's true. I think he really popularized like ringtone music. I think it was him I saw talking about how he's like, you know, you'd make so much money off of ringtones. So I just focused on doing ringtone music because you'd make so much money. You could sell like a ringtone for like a couple of bucks for that was like 10 seconds. It sold like worse than your actual song. That was back when you couldn't just set whatever song you wanted to as a ringtone. And this is the fucking days, dude. You know, nowadays you can do whatever you want. Couldn't do it back then. So he would make a song, and he was like the first TikTok musician, dude. It's fucking funny. Smart though.
Hip hop song.
Yes.
Can you break down like how that song came about, and then we can get into the actual mechanics of the mass spread of that song? Because it was like #1 in Belgium.
High. The first
No, you weren't. This is fucking crazy.
YouTube was Napster. I didn't know nothing about it. I was on the verge of being homeless
You guys remember LimeWire, dude? Fuck.
and everything.
You were working at LAX at that time too?
No, LAX was before that. LAX
Gotcha.
is going to be in the Afroman days when I first got my nickname and everything.
Yeah, okay.
This is going to be after I moved back to Mississippi. I kind of gave up on LA.
Went back to Hattiesburg.
Yes.
Yeah. You're working at a chicken processing center.
Yes. I remember I gave away, I tried to sell some CDs, nobody would buy them. I got tired of toting the box around. I was just like, damn. So I just started giving it away to people. And they went home and put it up on the computer, and they put it up on Napster. They had to invent the word viral to explain what my song had did through the computer. It was like a
I feel like they didn't have to invent the word viral. I think that they might have, maybe that was the first time they appropriated the word viral or assigned it to music, but I don't think they invented it. But I think I understand what it means.
computer platinum. At first we had platinum. We didn't have viral. Nobody said that before 2000. They started saying it after Because I Got High circulated. One dude said, I remember the dude, he looked like the guy on The Godfather that got mad at Michael Corleone. He goes, he was banging cocktail waitresses 2 at a time. Mean Mo Green.
Yeah. I just saw that on TikTok like the other day. Fucking Mo Green, dude.
He had on some glasses like Mo Green. He's like, you're everywhere. He goes, your song went viral. And he held it with his eyes open like, I ain't never heard that word. I'm like, what is that? It was like, it's like a virus. They had to invent that word to explain what had happened in everybody's computers around the world. Like,
so nobody said it viral before your song came out?
Yes.
Wow. And it stemmed from, was it a rave in New Orleans, I read?
Yes, I handed out 500 CDs at a rave. All those kids went home and loaded that stuff up, and it went around the world in like 2-3 days.
2-3 days?
Yeah.
And what was your initial reaction? Like, how did you even like come to terms with that global reach?
Dude, I didn't even know what had happened. This dude was just pounding on my door like the British is coming or something. You know what I'm saying? He was like, Universal want us in New York right now. We got to get a plane. And I'm like, okay, all right. You know, like, damn. And it was like, it wasn't a joke. The plane tickets was there, first class, limousine picking us up. New York City, saw Johnny Cochran in the air.
So interesting, because like I remember watching things that were about Napster and all these different things. And back then, I remember like Metallica and stuff. They were like really pissed that it existed because it was taking away like money from them, right? Which makes sense to me. But now Afroman's like, yeah, man, like that kind of shit like actually made me popular. You know, it actually made me popular. So it's kind of interesting to see something like that, see something that can be considered like negative and you know, ceiling for some people, but actually really positive for other people and getting themselves out there.
Before it took a picture, shit was starting to change, brother. Like I didn't know what was going on, but it was crazy, it was creepy, and it was big.
And how soon until you signed that major deal?
It must have been like 2-3 days later.
Yeah.
We got the plane ticket, we flew up there, Universal was not playing.
I know you're old school, so you probably don't want to talk about money super openly, but was it a pretty decent check for that first signing bonus?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me get a quick time check right quick. I supposed to be on stage at 7.
All right, we're here at Afroman's
Oh shit, he's gonna be on stage, baby.
first show after his victorious court case against the Adams County Sheriff's Department. It's not a big venue. We're not in an arena or a big-ass theater. We're inside of a dive bar in a suburban town called Clayton, Indiana, home to about 15,000 people. And it appears that one...
That's fucking cool as hell, man. It's cool as hell that he's doing like small shows still. You know, I could respect that as like it's just a cool thing to do. Because he's not too big for something like a smaller venue. That's like always fun.
1%, maybe 5% of the town is in this bitch right now to watch Afroman do his thing. Thoughts on Afroman?
He's great.
How do you feel about his court case victory?
That was amazing.
Freedom of speech, good or bad?
Great. We Afroman in Belleville, baby. You know, when are we gonna see this again?
It's Afroman. How do you not show up tonight?
My name's Gerald Claxton. This is the Clack Shack. Little small town, little hole in the wall type thing. Freedom of speech all the way through, baby. All the way.
Go freedom of speech, absolutely. Afroman got off his trial from freedom of speech. Honestly, I didn't know much about this court case till about 2 days ago.
Super epic, super sick. And how blessed he is that it was all on camera with his cameras inside. You feel me? Like that. I was just thinking about that earlier today. I was like, playa, hell yeah. What do you...
Dude. I love white people, bro. I love white people. Everybody does it, but like white people do it the best. White people do it the best when they like somebody from a certain group and they try to like imitate it like in a nice way. You know, it's like when my mom will say like a Hispanic person's name. Like he's like, oh, Maria. You know, she throws the fucking accent on there, tries to roll her R's. It's just so funny to me.
What do you think this victory symbolizes?
Freedom of speech. There's still hope in this world, at least a little bit.
He wanna put down his ground. Shit it on TikTok. He's a family guy.
came munchies because he got high, living pound cake. Oh man, there's hope for my career. Hey, you know what? I feel like Tina Turner. She was old as fuck. She was basically a skeleton in some stilettos. Her hair looked like somebody electrocuted her. It ain't over.
Oh, you know,
it ain't over, you motherfucker. She got one more left. What's love got to do? Hey, this is beautiful.
When you pulled the guitar too, that was.
Hey, listen, it's a fucking. I love hearing it, dude. You can get back to your. You can get popular at any age, baby. What the fuck?
Pretty sick.
Is this me?
Right on, brother.
So I had a couple follow-up questions from the interview from yesterday. When you said you went to Chicago and like met a bunch of cool people and stuff like that, did you ever go to a Players Ball?
Oh yeah, man. I go to all of them. Yeah, man, because I'm a player. Yeah,
to this day.
Yes. Don Juan, he threw his last one. He had his leg amputated, so he threw his last one, the 50th one. So I guess it's up to the younger generation of players to keep it going. I'm gonna talk to Pimp down in San Diego, and I'm gonna talk to some of the other famous players and see where they want to have them at and how they want to do them. I think they planning a picnic in July.
A Pimp picnic?
Yeah, player. Yeah.
So what's the main difference?
A pimp, I guess.
A pimp picnic. I like that. I think that's beautiful.
It's like, that word can mean a lot. Like, it can mean like a guy that beats a chick up and forces her to have sex with people. We don't do that. A woman.
That is fucking crazy, but that is typically what a pimp is, yes. But I guess it could be a cool thing now. It has been reclaimed. Now it's just a cool guy that girls think is a handsome fella, you know?
Loves a player. She can't help herself. Yeah, everybody loves a player. Nobody likes a pimp. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we some players, man. A player is a nice dude. A player is a ghetto.
Well, a player isn't a nice dude. Let's just be really clear here. But, you know, a fucking player is a guy who fucking plays girls. It's not illegal. He's just like a fuck boy. You know, at least that's what that's how I interpret it.
Politician. He's a good dude. He's smart. He has money. He has lots of friends.
I wouldn't really call politicians good guys, but I appreciate what you're saying.
Ideas. He throws parties. He's a wonderful social person. Yeah, he's a politician. So yeah. Players Ball.
And do you think that culture will survive the test of time?
Dude, what the fuck?
There's gonna always be a player. There's always gonna be a hater. So who the hater gonna hate if it ain't no player around? Somebody gotta be shining, doing good. So somebody got somebody to fuss and complain about. You gotta have the yin with the yang. You gotta have night and day, balance off the universe.
You ever have any interactions with Sugar Free?
Yeah, that's my man. That's the homie. You know what I'm saying? What's that? Smoking on a dodo and it's gone. Hey, I'm sipping on a Hennessy because it's what's up, Sugar Free? Sugar. My homeboy Strange was tight with him, and Strange took me to his show. He brought me in the back, was smoking weed with me. He always treated me with respect, man, and I appreciate him, man, because I love his music. A lot of rappers I grew up listening to, you know, I love them, but you know, the feeling ain't mutual. They ain't feeling me. But the Sugar Free is one of them rappers I grew up listening to, and he liked me too, you know. So he like because I got high, he think I'm funny and everything. Cool brother. I love Sugar Free, man.
Sugar Free to Pete. Look like the game hurt. If the bitch got 2 or 3 phones, she either a hoe or a brain surgeon.
You ever meet Monster Cody?
I didn't. You know, he stayed.
That's actually fucking funny. That was a good line.
On my
I know it means a lot coming from me.
Street. He stayed on my street. I lived off of 69th and Harvard.
So your dad and moving you to Palmdale when you were 11, do you feel like it's a stretch to say that might have saved your life?
I'm gonna say yeah. I was too alpha male. I was probably gonna get it. I might have made it. A lot of my homies made it through. They still around today, and they banged hard every day in South Central. I'm thinking me, the way I rap, talk, dance, threw up gang signs, spray painted on the wall.
Too active.
Because I didn't back down. I was bony. My Jerry curl was too long.
Dude,
somebody probably would have got me, man. Or I might have made it. I don't know. My dad didn't take that chance. Once he did his research, we was out of there.
What percentage of people who were active during the 80s, during your time in South Central, do you think are still around today? Is it half, or you think it's even less?
My homies were survivors. My homie Shady Mac died of natural causes. We put him down the other day, but all my homies are still alive. One of my homies went to the penitentiary. They dodged some bullets. They some matadors. You know what I'm saying? You know, they tricked the bull. And they stuck him with the sword at the end, like they still alive. Two-Tone, he's still alive. He live in the set right now. I pay his rent for him every day. Oh, homie. Hey, bro, I need a new Cadillac. Yeah.
So even though you moved to Palmdale, you didn't sever those lifelong bonds?
I couldn't. I was an A-Tray gangster. Like, I wasn't finna take my khakis off for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I was in Palmdale, but in my mind, I was still a Crip. I was still from A-Tray gangster. And that's how I carried myself. I dressed up every day. I got up every morning, ironed my khakis, ironed my T-shirt, went to the Slauson swap meet every chance I could. You know, went to see the homies every chance I could. Yeah, you can ask anybody from Palmdale. Oh, Joby, yeah, A-Tray gangster, L.A., South Central, wooty-woo.
Well, it's interesting because, like, fast forward now, Lancaster and Palmdale have some of, like, the highest murder rates in the state. And a lot of L.A. families now got relocated from places like South Central, especially.
Yeah, man. You know, the funny part is the worst gangbanger in L.A., he fantasizes about retiring in Palmdale. But the whole city is doing that. So a gangbanger go to Palmdale to get away from gangs. There's a million other gangbangers there, too, trying to get away from gangs. So you go up to the gas station, you get in the worst gang fight, shootout in your life in Palmdale, because in L.A., everything's organized, right? Every gang is in their neighborhood. So if you're from that hood, you can get peace in your hood. In Palmdale, Lancaster, you move into a little apartment, that's not a certified hood. You see what I'm saying? Like, your gang doesn't run that area. Different gang members is moving into apartment complexes. A Crip upstairs, Blood downstairs, 18th Street down the hall, M13 over here. You go to your car to bring in the groceries, man, you got all kind of shit going on. Them sheriff cars flying all up and down the street in Palmdale.
Did you see the video that came out of Cowboy from the 60s, like now living far out in the desert, like past Apple Valley, like out there on a private compound with like 6 acres, like by himself?
That's how you do it, brother. That's how you do it. I bought 195 acres. I want a real hood. I want a real country that I control. Like, my land is my country. I'm the judge. I'm the president. I'm the army. I'm the police. I'm the judge. I like to put a fence up around now my 195 acres.
I can see you being the president of a micronation. Have you heard of those before?
Like the Amish kind of do?
No, like you can declare your property.
I mean, kind of like the Amish dudes, yeah, for sure. I just, I don't know if they pay taxes, though, those Amish people. Freaking Amish.
Property, a nation.
Shade Maple's pretty good, though. You got to respect that.
Micronation, you can have your own, like, passport stamp processed. You can have law enforcement for nonviolent crimes. You can have your own currency. You can do all those things. I can kind of picture you. They have one in called Molossia outside of Reno.
That's interesting. It sounds like schools, like on Long Island. Like Stony Brook has that. They have like their own law enforcement, but they typically use it to cover up like sexual assaults and not take it seriously enough. So that's not good.
This guy named Kevin has like a 20-acre property. He dresses like a North Korean president or whatever you call him, supreme leader all day.
Yeah.
Would you want something like that?
Yes.
And what would the laws be on this micronation?
No N-word. Black people used to be slaves in America. I believe about 30% of white Americans could afford to have slaves, which...
That's crazy. Well, does that mean that they had them or they could just afford to have it? What does afford to have it mean? But still, crazy stuff.
These 70% middle-class white people who didn't have slaves, these people lived in cities. The 30% that had slaves had big farms. When slavery was abolished and they told the slaves that they couldn't have them on their property anymore, these slaves...
Well, they still basically enslaved them in like different ways,
migrated into the cities where the middle-class white people live, where the 70% middle-class white people live. Of course, the middle-class white people don't want the freed slaves to think that they are equivalent to them. They don't want to eat with the slaves. They don't want the slaves sitting next to them. The middle-class white people, they move out of the inner city, the city they built for themselves, but they wanted to get away from
go to the suburbs.
Slaves. So
yeah, man, it's like that on Long Island. I don't know if you guys know it. Like, it's fucking crazy. On Long Island... I forget what some fucking parkway, Sagdacoast probably, I don't know, some fucking stupid ass parkway. They made it so they just made the roads so bad, like you couldn't get a bus out there. Like they made the bridges so low you can't get buses out there, and that was to keep the black people out, so that they can't go to like the beaches and shit, like the nice beaches. Isn't that fucking crazy?
So they left,
and they still fucking managed to get to the goddamn beach. No, I'm just kidding.
And they built suburbs. And they built all these other communities, and they left the inner city for the newly arrived freed slaves.
True, and you want to know what else, which is pretty fucked up, is that they still they'll still take the jobs from the city. People don't really like look at it like this, but you have all these big cities, and a lot of times there's like pretty heavy non-white areas that that are poor. And one of the things is, this happens especially with the police. Especially with the police. You'll have people, and they'll live they'll live in the suburbs, but they'll commute to the city because it's like maybe an hour drive. So they'll commute to the city and they'll take the jobs for like the police officer jobs. Like in Long Island, there's like a lot of police officers who don't live in the city, or like the electrician jobs or any other job and all this other stuff. And they commute, they come back, and they take all that money, like all the tax money that's in the city, and they spend it on Long Island, and they just kind of resource starve and drain, and obviously things are more complicated than that, but even teachers. So the teachers are living in the nice areas, and they're working in rough schools, but they're making an okay pay, at least in New York, and then they're taking that money and they're bringing it back to like Long Island, and then like what does that do for the local community there? I mean, it kind of fucks them a little bit, right? Because you don't really have the ability to have too much abundance. You're draining that community of its resources. It's pretty fucked.
They call the older...
It's just like there's a whole everything is so systemic. It's crazy.
Buildings that they done already lived in, all the dilapidated buildings, the ghetto. They call this the black neighborhood. A black neighborhood in America was never designed by black people for black people. It's just like this leftover garbage thing. You know what I'm saying? So as far as I'm concerned, a young black baby don't have a decent environment to come up in. Too many evil spirits have access to a young black child. There's no healthy place for him to grow up. I would like to have a whole bunch of land, like to fence it off, and all the black people that don't like using the N-word, they don't refer to their brothers and sisters as the N-word. They don't want the N-word being said to their children. I would set up a nation for them, and I would exclude the self-proclaimed nigger.
It's crazy. But there is a little bit of irony that like Afroman is like this big free speech guy, but he would make a community and he wouldn't let black people in it that used the N-word. It seems like kind of a free speech, an anti-free speech thing. You know, this is interesting.
God bless him. I'll do business with him. If the world attack black people as a whole, I will help him in battle. But when peace arrives, I will separate myself from this man. I believe he contaminates and poisons the American black soul. And I create an environment where a young black person can grow up, know that they are a brother. They are Afro-American. And I would nurture and raise a good citizen. And then I'd let him know, outside of this fence, the people outside of this fence are going to address you with the most offensive word in the English language. But just know that's not you. And just know not to do nothing with these type of people who don't trust a person that calls you that, you know, blah, 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 blah. That's one of the main rules that I would have in my community. And then all the other sensible laws. Like, of course, don't steal, don't kill. But the only one that I think I'd have is like, you can't say the N-word. And if somebody invites somebody over and they use the N-word, I'd have my own security guards pull up and ask that person to leave our environment.
Would you allow white liberal visitors and volunteers?
Yes.
Would you allow us to say the N-word? Because it is, we did create, I'm kidding.
You can come visit. You can come visit. And matter of fact, we actually need some white residents, because if the government find out that it's all black people living here, they might fly over the top and just blow us up.
I'm trying.
It's fucking crazy. He's kind of right though, dude. I mean, if you really want to keep it real, nobody cared that much about the ICE going on until 2 fucking white people got shot. So, you know, let's just keep it fucking real there.
Trying to think if that's been attempted before. You had the New African Republic in the Southeast. You had Black Hammer in Colorado, but that was kind of like poisoned by nonprofit money. And then you have the Gullah Geechee Nation in the Sea Islands in South Carolina. And I think they're trying to build something like an intentional community with more direct connections to Africa.
Okay.
Young people, I could say that and be proud.
I like that. Okay.
Of where you come from and where you're going. They say the world is your
Where do you come from, Cotton Eye Joe, baby?
oyster. You just got to get out there, find your niche, but never forget where you come from.
From what I understand, Africans sold black people around the world. So I don't even really want to call myself African American. I'm still an Afro-American. I know I'm of African descent. And like I say, if the world wants to kill black people all at one time, I'm down to help my African brothers, sisters fight. I don't want to patronize backstabbers and betrayers. I don't want to.
It's interesting. I never really thought about it. That's an interesting perspective. That, like, you know, because you hear a lot of white people will be like, well, white people are fine because actually black people sold other black people into slavery. It's like, yeah, that's true, but slavery is bad. I don't know. Like, what are we talking about here? But this idea of like, hey, I don't really want to be associated with Africa too heavily because like they sold us. It's like, oh, that's just an interesting take I've never like heard before, or yeah, it's just interesting. It's very interesting.
Patronize the people that betrayed me and call myself African. And then they get this arrogance like we're trying to be like them. They want to rap like us. They want to be cool like us. And I'm not mad at them. I'm an Afro-American. I am an American. You wouldn't take a lion out of the zoo and put him back in the wild, but, you know, a person to tell me to go back to Africa. I can't. I don't know what's going on over there. I don't know. I'm an American. I can survive in America. I know America. This is what I know. So I'm looking for Afro-Americans. I'm with the good people. I'm with humanity. Just because you're black, you might not be a good man. You might be a bad man. So I'm not with nobody bad. I'm not bad. I'm not down with no bad black people. I'm not down with no bad white people. I'm not down with no bad Mexicans. I'm not down with nothing bad. I'm down with everything good. Afro-Americans need a home. We've been misplaced. If the government and society doesn't give me some land or something, I'll go buy it. I'll build it. The Chinese man don't come up to me and ask me to build China for him. He goes and he builds it for himself.
We just visited a whites-only community in Arkansas.
Yeah, I'm with it. I'm with it. I don't mind them having a whites only, but just don't get mad when I have a black one. And what I believe is this: if you're a white extremist, you have the right to find you some land and be extreme. I got the right to find me some land and be extreme, but we both should be able to come to a neutral zone. And in that neutral zone, we should get along. We should both be able to go to Walmart.
So Walmart is the racial...
Interesting perspective. I mean, you know, it's interesting. I'd say that, like, generally speaking, a black-only community is like a cope with like racism in America, where like a white-only community is a cope with the racism leaving America to some extent, right? I mean, like, what are like black supremacists are usually people that are like, yo, dude, like people will literally not give me a job because I'm black, and there's like, you know, racism going on in some capacity. White supremacists are like, hey man, I'm used to getting a job even though I'm not the best. And this is really frustrating. I need to get back to a point where we were like ostracizing black people so they couldn't get jobs. But I mean, I guess I can respect that. Hey, let's all live separately and then come to the local Walmart. I guess we kind of do that now. A little regressive, but we kind of do that now with like general segregation, no? That kind of makes sense.
Pacification zone. Like
well,
the
it's an
DMZ.
example. It's an example.
Yeah, I know what you mean though. The public, the third space.
It's like this. When I go to the airport, I know I got to compromise everything because I'm around everybody. You go to the airport, I got to share. This dude might be something I don't like, but we're at the airport. We got to get along. We got a flight. This is not the time, place. It's boom. There need
to
be places like that. And then when you're ready to be extreme, go to your section and be extreme. And that goes for me too. When I'm ready to be Afro-American and I'm ready to play my soul music and eat my collard greens and cornbread and pick my afro and say right on and hop my low rider, I need my section where I don't disturb my white brother that may not like that loud rap music. He may not like all the cars slamming and hopping and all that type stuff. He needs to breathe. He needs his environment. I need my environment. You go to the zoo, every animal has their own little environment. If you're a polar bear, they hook up the refrigerator for you because you're a different animal than this lion over here. This lion say turn that air off, man.
That might be a little rough. I mean, I get what he's saying. I don't know if that logic really stands today, but I hear you. I hear you.
It's cold in this damn place. You know
But going back to Palmdale, though, you talked about how suburbs were built to escape black migration out of fear of retribution in the inner cities.
No, they just didn't want to be. They never feared paying them back.
Was that part of it? Fear of retribution? I mean, there might have been a level of fear of retribution. I think that, like, saying that almost like would cause some people to be like, oh, I get it. Like the white people were afraid that black people would retaliate because they were, enslaved. There might be a level of truth, but I wonder how much of that is just like fucking like propaganda almost. I wonder.
They don't fear that now. They're not going to pay black people, but they didn't want to be around them.
But there's some speculation that I've seen before that the gentrification of Los Angeles and other cities can be kind of seen as like a reverse white flight, because now that the cities are cleaning up and integrating, you have suburban youth flocking to the cities to find culture, and in turn, the price gets raised. And I'm wondering if you know about the Cash for Homes program and how they were basically convincing families in South LA and elsewhere to move to Palmdale and Lancaster and offering them like briefcases full of cash to displace
Yeah.
families.
What I heard was, at first, white people left South Central LA. They said black people couldn't come west of the 110 freeway. My dad told me that white boys used to chase him out of Compton. I'm gonna repeat that. My dad told me white boys used to chase him out of Compton across Imperial to Watts. White people moved to the suburbs. White people gave up Compton. Gave that big court building to the black people. They let them have it. All right, they gave up Compton. They gave up South Central, and they went wherever they went. Let's say Palmdale, let's say Simi Valley, all them outskirts cities. Then they want to blow their brains out from that traffic every day.
True.
So now, after about 20 years, 20, 40, 50 years of that traffic, white people are saying, look, put the gang members and the black people out here in the desert and we'll stay back in the city and don't have to drive that much. So I hear that the regentrification and all of this stuff is going on. I was in Inglewood. I seen a white girl on a skateboard with a dog pulling her.
A dog pulling her?
I was like,
wow.
What is she doing? I was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, God, okay, that's cool. I was just, but it's just like Inglewood, all right, damn, yeah.
So getting to another theme, which is divorce. I heard you mention it twice today. Seems like you had two particular divorces in your life. One was the divorce of your parents that kind of prompted you to drop out of high school and take music more seriously. Then you had your divorce with, I guess, your first wife later in time that prompted you to travel around, meet different players, and kind of start getting your style turned up. Can you tell me about the impact of that first one?
I trip on how as soon as you get married, your wife can stop doing her duties, but you can't stop doing yours. And if you leave, you got to pay even more money. Marriage is like a short end of the stick thing for the man. Marriage is good for the woman.
I don't think any of this is true, but okay.
As soon as she get married, she can stop going to the gym. She can eat, fart on you late at night. Don't cook for you. Go fuck other dudes.
Fart on you late at night? Isn't that the goal? What are you talking about?
What are you going to do?
What?
Eat, fart on you late at night. Don't cook for you. Go fuck other dudes. What are you going to do? Divorce me and give me half of your shit?
What the fuck are you talking about, man? I mean, listen, I guess this is very, maybe this is more normal in a very male-dominated relationship, I suppose. I mean, you could always get like a prenup that is explicitly some kind of like, a cheating clause, but a lot of guys cheat on their partners in these traditional marriages too, so it's kind of a tough take. And I'm sure he had like a rough marriage, but this is like not normal for most people. You're probably not going to be the guy that's with a girl that doesn't make any money or anything. You're probably both bringing a job to the table in some capacity. You're probably both doing like a job in some capacity, so this isn't going to be relatable for most people, but I guess this is Afroman. And, I guess this is an uber rich problem, maybe? I don't know, man. I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? So my mom was real religious, and she thought it was a sin to go with a girl and not be married with her, not be married to her. Well, my mom and my dad was divorced, so I didn't get a chance to hang out with my dad too much until after he moved to Mississippi. So later on in Mississippi, after I got married, my dad was like, son, now watch it. She's going to try to divorce you to take a lot of money. He started advising me, and he taught me a whole lot. So I had to learn, that's why women want to get married.
Well, not for nothing, you know, and I like Afroman, but like what you learned is that your parents were a bad fit and you never learned what it means to like actually find somebody that you love, right? You know, mom and dad don't really like each other very much. You learn that relationship dynamic as you interact with, like, you know, you see them every day. And if you're with your mom and dad and then they get divorced, and then that's going to affect you, but you're going to think that a relationship is supposed to be the dynamic that they had. It's not an easy thing to be super introspective and be like, okay, no, you know what? I have to actively work against what I learned, you know, because this is not a good relationship. They divorced. So listen, for me, got with my wife. She made me a better man. I make a lot more money now. I'm a lot happier now. She also does financially contribute. You know, so, you know, for us, she's never tried to shirk on a responsibility. I've never seen that happen. We both try pretty hard together to be good for each other. We don't have these issues, I guess, that Afroman had. I would say that the biggest problem is that, like, when you find somebody that you're not actually in love with, you know, you're probably not going to have a particularly good relationship in some way. You guys are not going to like try for each other in some way, shape, or form. And it's very possible that if, you know, she's not doing her job, whatever your designated role was in the relationship, you're probably not doing yours either. So, but, you know, still W Afroman overall. But you know, it's always weird seeing somebody that doesn't understand what a healthy relationship is talk about like relationship advice type stuff. So
it's a low-key hustle / lick. You know, they have divorce parties now. Like, what the fuck you mean? You know what I'm saying?
So when you sign that marriage contract, it's a prenuptial agreement that automatically...
Man, I don't...
My mother-in-law, we had a divorce party for her. Her husband was a fucking piece of shit, though. Made less money, acted like he thought he was like a fucking real man. He was a dumbass fucking moron loser. You know, he had gone to school at one point, and like basically my mother-in-law did everything for him in the school. She could have basically just passed all the classes herself if she wanted to. So, you know, let's not try to make it all one-sided here.
I believe the right woman can get around that. The right lawyer, right woman, you know, people bias. Look at what they were trying to do to me in court. Like, you know, like them cops were walked after beating Rodney King's ass. So the wrong judge, wrong court, wrong woman, that prenuptial agreement don't mean nothing. They'll get it still.
So, I don't know about that. It's a fucking prenup, but okay.
So do you believe in marriage as a construct?
I do. I believe in, look here, homie, look here. I seen a teacher whisper in somebody's ear. He go, tell it to the person behind you. He started at the end of the class, and they Pac-Man this shit up and down the aisle. And by the time it got over there, it was nothing like what he said over here. You see what I'm saying? So like,
yeah, telephone tag. What does that have to do with anything?
What did God really say? Who really wrote the Bible? Like marriage is cool, but maybe you didn't even, like, what the hell? If I like a girl and she like me, we should go together. And what I like about is soon as she stopped loving me and stopped doing right, I can do the same. Now, where all this paperwork come in at? You know what I'm saying? Oh, she can go suck everybody's dick, but I still got to pay her. And
what the fuck are you talking about? Bro, I'm sorry. This is fucking crazy. It's just funny to me because this guy obviously got with like a fucking, like the girl he was with is obviously like probably a fucking whore before they even got together, and he still got with her, and he's like, yeah, this fucking woman's she's a prostitute. Like, yeah, well, it sounds like you picked like an asshole. That might be the bigger issue there, bud.
And no, that sounds like a bad deal. I was just thinking, like, I could have a whole bunch. I got this one girl right now. She does everything right. She caters to me. She cooks. She brings my food to me. She sews my buttons on my suits when I pop them. I'll go talk to some other girls. They'll be like snorting coke and drinking and loud and using the N-word. And you know what? There's a side of me that feels like I want to be with this chick.
You want to be with not the crazy one, but the one who helps you out with your...
Yeah. If two people want to be with each other, they'll be with each other. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If she wants to be with you, she'll be with you. And she might only want to be with you 6 months. She might only want to be with you a year. She might only want to be with you 2 years. Me and my homies from 83rd, we still homies to this day. We go over each other's house because we want to be over there. We've been friends 30 whatever, damn near 40 years. We want to go over each other's house. We want to crack them beers. We want to shake each other's hand and play our music. We want to see each other. And when a girl want to see you and you want to be with her, that's marriage to me. All these paperwork and all these strangers that come into your life telling you you need to give her this and that. And that. There's a side of me at 51 years old in 2026 that thinks something is fishy. I like the Bible, but then, you know, I'm hearing all this stuff about King James. A lot of stuff is making sense now. Slaves, obey your masters, turn the other cheek. You know, how come you don't turn the other cheek? Yo, so I'm not saying it's false, but I believe that God will sympathize with my confusion. If I created a creature, I would understand that he don't understand. God created me, so he know I can't verify all this stuff everybody's hollering. So I think he's gonna look at my heart and do what he's gonna do from there. So marriage to me is me and a young lady wanting to be with each other. And that can stop anytime. Now, your girl can break up with you in her mind, go out and start fucking everybody, sucking their dick. Now, you still
That's true.
married on paperwork, but that spirit is gone. So far as I'm concerned, fuck this paperwork. Why even have it in the first place? Bitch, you gonna love me?
I guess. Again, like, I mean, some of these things are true. I think relationships are a lot more complicated than that. Sounds like he doesn't have any kids, or at least relationship with kids. You know, I think it's relationship. I mean, marriage can be tough. It's just different. It's a different type of it's just different. You know, you're obviously, you and your partner own each other. It takes a lot of trust to be able to do that. So you have to really respect and trust your partner. So
Me today? Oh, you don't love me tomorrow? Okay, well, we're gonna do an easier divorce. We're gonna do the kind of divorce we used to do in the 3rd grade. Make sure the teacher ain't looking. That's the divorce. It's simple. It ain't all this traumatizing shit.
I guess like the core question is, does that belief about marriage more stem from you observing your parents, or is it more like your experience with marriage?
it's going to be both, right? Like you learn what love is from your parents, man. And if your parents don't know what love is, you're not going to learn what love is correctly.
Everything. My parents really ain't got nothing to do with it because my mom's a good lady, and I understand what my dad's saying. My dad was illustrating to me how my mom didn't spend no time with it. He said she always down at the job, she run down to the school. My mama low-key unconsciously broke up with my dad.
Wait, what?
I understand what my dad's saying. My dad was illustrating to me how my mom didn't spend no time with it. He said she always down at the job, she run down to the school. My mama low-key unconsciously broke up with my dad. She didn't want to be around him, so she'd load up her college courses. She's
sorry, this one is just like a little bit funny to me. And the only reason it's funny to me, it's because like his dad was like, oh man, women are after your money. This is one of the things. This is like a little bit of an L from Afroman. I don't think he put these things together. He's like, yeah, my dad always told me when I was young, like, you know, don't get married or whatever. You know, my mom or women will get like all your money out of you and shit like that. And it's like, okay, but then now it's like, yeah, his dad was upset that mom was going to school and working a lot. It's like, okay, you're saying half your money, but it sounds like she was a college-educated woman with a job. So is it half of your money, Dad, or is it just like half of the money? You know what I mean?
Stay at work. Then she'd open up a business. And my dad like, where's she at? You know, so it's like this. They wasn't broke up, but they was broke up. If we ain't together, we apart. So if you like me, you like me. You gonna be where you wanna be. The player say she choose. The player say a female choose. The player fix himself up, he stand up tall, he stand up right, and a woman look, she like that one. Even in Animal Kingdom, I guess this cheetah, she was giving off a scent, and there was like 5 male leopards following her. She'd stop and turn around, they'd all sit and look like, we don't smell your pussy, we're not following you, you know. So finally she indicated to the one she wanted. The other ones kind of congratulated him, and he moved on to the top of the hill and mounted her. A female chooses, even in animal world. So I believe in getting chose, and I believe in 2 people being where they want to be.
Going back to your parents, did you feel like that emotional distance that your mom created, like kind of broke your dad's spirit a bit at that time? Like, did you notice?
It's mathematics. My dad tell me how his boss used to bust him. My dad used to work for Caltrans, and he said he had this bush on the freeway he used to get the best sleep in. My dad said he had a supervisor that busted him without busting him. He said, Foreman, look here. I ain't saying you ain't working. All I'm saying is, I don't see it. Fuck where you was at. Fuck what I can't prove. I don't see you. So my dad come home from work. You know, he married, but where's my wife? Is she here? She gone. So I'm married and single at the same time. I'm married to some paperwork sitting in the courthouse, but my actual woman is moving around.
Yes, it sounds like she's trying to better herself, and he's not supportive of that.
She's not with me. She didn't choose me.
I don't know. Listen. I'm not saying this is like every instance, but in this fucking instance, it seems like his dad might have been like a traditional controlling kind of a guy, and he didn't like the fact that his wife was going around and trying to better herself for some reason. Maybe he missed her a lot and wanted to be around her more. Maybe, maybe he was like pissed off that he couldn't control her that much. You know what I mean? Like she's out, she's trying to work. That's what money is, man. Money is the ability to have freedom. And I wonder if the dad just didn't really value her ability to have freedom. I don't know.
She chose to be somewhere else. Amen. So, marriage is an action, it's an everyday action. You could be married to me today and you're not married to me tomorrow. Yeah.
I just remember yesterday you were talking about the ideal marriage situation is like the man goes out, hustles, gets it, brings it home, and the woman holds it down. I wonder if that was informed by like your experience watching the opposite of it.
A marriage is an institution. A marriage is a company. Your family last name is a company name brand. Your company helps your family survive. Your wife, she feeds you. She washes your clothes. She packs your lunch. She takes care of your kids, cleans your house. You don't want to come home to no laundry, dirty dishes. You know,
I don't know, I do the laundry sometimes, so I guess I don't have the same experience as him.
Saying she is your vice president. You're running the world. She's running the house. And it's a company. That's why.
I mean, it sounds like your mom didn't want to do that, and that's why they broke up. Doesn't really seem like it's any deeper than that. It sounds like he didn't really respect her as somebody who could be an equal, and she wanted to move on from that.
When you break up, they make you give her half of it because she helped you run that company. And now that she's parting ways with it, you need to give her something that's going to help her as she look for.
Yeah, but it sounded like she made a bunch of money, so this really isn't like that. It's just interesting. It's interesting. There's like in my opinion, based on the story he's telling us, there's a massive lack of self-awareness of his like relation in his own like parents' relationship. He doesn't seem to understand his own parents' relationship or their own misgivings or their own fucking shit going on.
Or another business partner.
Do you think it's natural for a man to be with just one woman for his whole life?
Okay, I ask myself, why does a bull have 12 heifers? Now I eat a bull on a plate, and then
well, I mean, it's because they're just trying to breed. It's all, you know, and it's a crazy question for somebody who's like so fucking, you know, awoke and aware that black people have gotten the shit end of the stick. Yeah, why does a bull who's basically a slave to the farmer have 12 heifers? I don't know, like. Why did white people force black people to have sex and to breed? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just a crazy example. What?
This man has a better sex life than me. There's a side of me that says I can have as many women as I want. The key is getting the women to accept. If I can talk a woman into accepting other women, then okay, what's your problem? Excuse me. We're living life, liberty, and my pursuit of happiness. I heard it was immoral. I heard God don't like it. At the same time,
listen, if you want to do your thing, do your thing. As long as everybody's aware of it and they're consenting, like you do you. Me personally, I feel like there's I feel like men in general, I feel like men can move the world, but men are their own worst enemy. So a guy might be, you know, really, productive and intelligent and have all these really good attributes there. But if they don't have any fucking control over themselves, then they become, you know, they kind of succumb to the worst parts of them. And in my experience, when I was fucking around and talking to other girls, when I was in an open relationship, that was like the biggest, that was the least productive time that I've ever had. Like that was the least amount of growth moments that I've ever had before. So.
I see bulls with 12 heifers. An alpha male fights you over all his women. If you can take care of a woman, why should another man enjoy what he's not paying for, what he's not supporting?
But you felt like true romantic love before, right? Like head over heels, butterflies, full emotional investment.
Yeah, brother.
And like, do you feel like that always expires, like at some point?
There is a way to nurture it. It's a way to keep things healthy. I believe people should have 2 rooms. They should have 2 rooms and a center room.
What the fuck does that mean?
I'm on board for that.
Yeah, I believe there should be a center room, then there should be a his and her room. There's a side of me that think both people should still masturbate. How can you make...
What? I mean, like, I agree you should have your own space. The 2 rooms communicates to me like, oh, don't sleep together. But I could be wrong about that. But like, I have my office here. This is like my room. My wife has the rest of the house. You know what I mean? I don't really care. But I think that everybody needs the space that they need. You know?
Me happy when you don't even make yourself happy. How can you give me something you don't have? You don't love yourself, but you're going to come loving on me. You know, you ain't took a bath. You ain't got no rest. You ain't shampooed your hair, but you ain't brushed your teeth, but you want to kiss me.
It'd be nice to have separate bathrooms too, because, you know, girls always have...
It's good to have multiple bathrooms because sometimes you motherfuckers have to shit at the same time, and that is like the worst feeling ever.
So much shit in there. I could do 7 in 1, or maybe 12 in 1, every body wash purpose.
I suggest that every man have a house in his company. I believe a man should keep all his important stuff in his company. Everything you have in the same house with the lady should be disposable. So like if she cross...
Well, the same house as the lady? What are you talking about? Should live together? Well, I mean, I don't know. You having multiple houses in this economy, dude? What the fuck?
This is you can just hang up the phone and you don't even got to go back there no more. She can burn that little weenie shirt you got hanging in the closet. You know what I'm saying? But she can't get a hold of your birth certificate. You know,
so you got to
your house deeds.
Keep your bases covered.
Yes.
Definitely. So yesterday we kind of concluded with talking about, because I got high dropping, you go to New York, you get this fat publishing check, your life pops off fast. What's the way that you splurged? Did you save, or were you like going party mode for those couple years?
Well, I put the money up and I let Universal have too much access to it. They fucked it off when I went on tour. You know, live and learn. They was giving me big money, so I didn't want to go against them. So I didn't know when to say no. I didn't know when to put my foot down at first.
I see.
Like in what sense? Like what kind of things would they request of you as far as?
They gave me the check, but they didn't let it go. They was holding it as they gave it to me. They were like, we want to put this in a joint account so this guy here can pay your bills while you're on tour and whoop-de-whoop. They were saying stuff like that. If I do it now, I wouldn't have a joint account with them. I say, hey, let go of the check, let go of it. All right, thank you. And then I wouldn't go on tour. I'd take their check, get on my airplane, fly back home to my bank and deposit it into my bank with no whatever from them.
Did you move from Hattiesburg to LA after
How am I taking damage there?
this whole?
No, I stayed in Hattiesburg. I went out to the country and bought me some bigger land.
So you went out to the country. You never had like a urge to move to Hollywood or do something like that?
Yeah, I get them urges. I done got addicted to space and peace.
I feel like going to Hollywood, rough. I feel like that's rough. I mean, I feel like that's like your number one biggest waster of money, you know? Go move to Hollywood. It's expensive as fuck out there. You're better off taking some money and going out somewhere else. Small, cheaper, plot of land and shit.
And I'm over the whole village people life. Like, I think people are too close to each other. All the peace I feel right now, I wish I could give to every other human being. I really think we all need about 100 acres a piece. Go see people when you want to, but everybody just need that peace.
So throughout the...
I understand that, but at the same time, I don't want to have to cut all that lawn. You know what I mean? That's my biggest issue. I'm not cutting all that. And I'm not paying for somebody to cut all that. That's all I have to say. The
entire, I guess, post-fame process, you never moved to a major city to like buy a condo by the water or something?
Nah, man, because I'm living too big. Man, I got a garage big as this place right here, if not a little bit bigger. Where am I put all my cars? I'm an LA boy. I can't leave my lowriders in the snow. I want space, and I can't get no space in a city. A city is where a rich man warehouses labor. You ever seen that movie Trading Places?
Yeah.
Duke and Duke, did they live in Philadelphia?
No way.
No, they got in their Rolls Royces and they was way out somewhere. And then when they was ready to manipulate their laborers, they hop in the back of their Rolls Royce and they sail into the city where everybody's piled up and they manipulate people. Hey, you're broke, your rent's high, come here, jump on one foot, that type stuff.
It's kind of crazy how you talk about how you love space and peace, but you also tour more than most rappers ever have. Like I saw the, obviously with all the coverage of the...
Needs that money, dude. But then also it's one of those things where like, it's like you kind of have control over your shit. So if you live in somewhat isolation or productive isolation, we'll say, and you're like, yeah, I live alone on a nice property, but you know what? I get my social outgoings. I go out and I get my social time in and we're good. And then I come back home and I'm chilling, I get that.
Trial. I think when they were grilling you, they were asking you, how often do you perform every year? And you said hundreds of times per year.
How many live performances did you do last year, roughly?
Possibly 250. I think 250 shows was being modest. I doubt if I take
I thought he was going to be like, oh, I was exaggerating.
65 days off in a year.
This makes sense why you like space and peace so much. It's a necessary component to your volume of touring.
Man, you can say that, but it's like when I'm done, I'm done.
Well, it sounds like he has like a somewhat productive relationship with himself chilling.
Like if I'm not getting paid, I'm home. That's my thing. I send people to the store. I don't want to go in public. If I'm not getting paid, I'm at home.
One of the best things about last night too was just seeing how stoked each person was at the bar that you were there. You're like at the top of the news cycle right now. Technically, I bet you could probably sell out like a multi-thousand person venue in LA or something like that. But you're here in Clayton, Indiana at a dive bar that looks like it's only had a handful of live performances. But now Afroman, Man of the Hour is there. And it was cool because I felt like each person there is going to be a lifelong fan. Because they're like, Afroman came to our town. To you, what's the importance of hitting small town dive bars and those kind of venues?
I love small towns. They're easy to promote in. It's easy to be a big deal. The people are grateful because they don't get that much entertainment. So they're not too good to dance. They're not too good to have a good time. But if you go to Vegas, people sit back and smoke a cigarette looking at you in the corner and shit. So that's what I like about a small town. They don't mind getting a lot of merchandise and getting a picture with you and really experiencing you. You know what I'm saying? What I didn't realize was it's the small towns that make your star go on Hollywood Boulevard. I'm from LA. Couldn't get no record deal, nothing. I went to them little small towns in Mississippi. They flew me out for the Grammys, the red carpet. All those little towns that I played told Hollywood, hey, this guy is a star. And Hollywood go, oh, see, LA is a city you go to after you make it. You don't try to make it from LA. That's the part I didn't get. That's a retirement. That's a fact.
That's interesting. I guess that might be kind of true. You see, it's so interesting though, because you see, fuck my ass, dude. You see a lot of people like they'll go to LA, like the second they get some like fame, like especially on TikTok, they're like, okay, I got to go to LA, and this is gonna make me famous, and I'm gonna do this. You know what I mean? So it's so interesting. That's like the opposite advice here.
Fame retirement city, because everybody's gonna go to all the little town people are gonna go visit LA, and they're gonna walk the Hollywood Strip. So Hollywood has to say, all right, look. We got a bunch of country fuckers flying into town. We need something they recognize and like. Oh, they like Larry the Cable Guy. Put his star right here. Oh, now the country people can pose by the Larry the Cable. Oh, everybody likes Ice.
I mean, I guess that is a good point. Yeah, kind of. If you had a bunch of tourists going to a certain area, so you're going to want to have access to Hollywood. I mean, it depends on why you're in Hollywood too, though. Like if you're, you could, first of all, if you're on tour a lot, Hollywood, California is a big hub. It's a big touring hub, right? You can tour from Hollywood. There's airplane access everywhere. Like not every area has airplane access, and it's easier and it's convenient. You can also do collaborations much easier. There's probably like a big infrastructure for filming and recording. It depends on what you're doing, if you would need something like that. So if you're like somebody who tours a lot and you want to be in isolation, what he's doing makes more sense. If you're doing a lot of big collaborations with people that are also in California, or you're doing movies, right, it would make sense to live there. But I mean, it obviously doesn't make sense for him to live there.
Cube. Everybody likes Snoop Dogg. Put him a star here. Everybody come look at his star. Oh, well, they like Afroman. Put his star here.
You got the star yet?
Nah, I'm gonna apply. I think I might can ask for it now.
Yeah.
Yo, so I'm here at the
Hey, that'd be cool.
Hollywood Walk of Fame, and I just called the office and asked them what it would take to get a star of my own. And you're never going to believe what they told me. They told me that I had to do a show in Phoenix, Arizona this month at the Celebrity Theater.
Okay, Jesus Christ, dude. He got me with that fucking ad. I was not expecting that to be an ad read. I'm being real with you.
April 24th, and that I had to bring all the native homies out to really make it a goddamn movie in the Southwestern Plateau. That's right, you heard it here first. C5 Carnival is coming to the Big AZ, the Big P as I call it. And not just me, but also Hunter motherfucking Biden.
Oh, what?
We'll be in the building. Indigenous Enterprise and myself will be in.
Bro, Andrew's crazy. He's just personal buddies with Hunter Biden now. It's insane.
In the building, screening the pilot for a TV show in which I personally executive produced and kind of starred in, and the homie Natani Means also playing a set. So we have 4 heavy hitters, 2 documentaries, 1 talent show coming to Phoenix. Buy yourself a ticket. I'll see you there. Arizona on top. You know what time it is.
All right, you ready to get into the trial?
Yes, sir.
Now that we got some of that stuff covered, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for answering all those questions. I just got a lot of shit I was curious about, so I'm happy we got.
Yeah, I like that conversation. I like the conversations Andrew does, because you usually get some real shit going on, real conversations going on. He'll ask real questions. I liked the asking about his family and shit. It was interesting.
To bounce all that off before we get into the big story of the day. But before we get into that, what role did 9/11 play in your life?
That's crazy, brother. What a fucking wild question. I mean, I guess it's a good question. It's just I'm not expecting that fucking question.
I believe it distracted the day that was supposed to belong to me. Like I was supposed to own the news cycle that next day.
What the fuck? What?
Plan for that next day.
Me. I did the Craig Kilborn show. It was hot. I was the talk of the nation. I was the talk of the world. I was the talk of the world. Nothing was bigger than Because I Got High, except the fucking Empire State Building crumbling to the ground. I could not compete with that.
Definitely. It was a big deal.
Oh my God.
RIP to all those who passed away.
Yes. All
right, into the trial.
That's fucking wild. Okay. I mean, you know what? I want to judge Afroman for that, because that's fucking crazy and insensitive. But at the same time, I hate to say it, dude, 9/11 was a tragedy, but I got off from school that day. And so it's like, rest in peace, man. But I got to play Pokemon that day. That's fucking crazy, but it's something to think, But yeah, maybe the wrong building too. Yeah, that might have not have been I don't know about the Empire State Building. I think maybe he a little misinformed, but hey, it is what it is, man.
What was their justification for the raid?
Maybe if you knew it was the Twin Towers, he'd be like, "Oh shit, I didn't know it was that bad. I thought it was just that one building."
Confidential informant got into some trouble. She, just to get the handcuffs off of her, she told them that I had all kind of weed, kidnapping victims, just the most unbelievable stuff ever. And that same day, with no research, they get like a quick ass search warrant signed. They came over, to my house based on that lady's words. I figured if she was gonna lie on me, she'd tell a believable lie. But she just jumped on the craziest, goofiest stuff. He got a dungeon, kidnapping victims.
A dungeon?
Wow. So they came over to my house looking for a dungeon and looking for kidnapping victims. Plus they already didn't like me anyway,
Yeah.
I see their facial expressions when I'm around town. I speak to them, they don't speak back, and that whole thing.
Yeah, I think myself and a lot of people wondered, what was the extent of your interactions with the Adams County Sheriff's Department prior to the raid?
Well, people was breaking into my house when I went on tour. The insurance people will pay me back if I could just turn in a police report. I try to get a police report, mugs don't come out till like a week later. He takes my report, And I asked him for a copy, but he don't give it to me. I was at the station, and so I never got the money to reimburse me because they never would give me the report. Like, I stopped calling them. Like, I used to call up there and consistently just check on the progress of my investigation. And they began getting hostile because I was consistent. Like, hey, listen, if you call up here again, it will get addressed. I'm like, he's just setting up, a foundation for a fight.
That's fucking crazy. That's crazy. I mean, that makes sense that he's gone for a while, so people are more likely to break into his house. And I also understand the police being irritated by the fact that he's probably clogging up their infrastructure or making it so they don't have to actually do their fucking job. Either one of those two things. But I could get it. Like, the police are for everybody. It's not just private security for one person. So, it sounds like to an extent you need to have better control over your shit. Like, have somebody house it. So this stuff doesn't happen as much. But, you got to do your fucking job, man. You got to do your fucking jobs, guys. And I guess they didn't. So they got fucking cucked.
Right now, so I'm like, all right. I just stopped calling them. I figured I put up my cameras and whoever steals from me, we'll figure out something. You know what I'm saying?
Who was breaking into your house, do you know?
No, I didn't have up cameras when I was getting broke into. That's why I put up cameras, because I didn't know who was breaking in my house.
It's a pretty small town, right?
Yeah.
How many people live in this town?
We might have a couple 100,000. It's the whole Adams County. There's like 5 little cities in Adams County. There's little city of Winchester, little city of Seaman, little city of West Union, little city of Manchester. So I'm gonna say 200,000 to 300,000 people, but possibly less.
People were breaking into your house because they knew, like, yo, that's Afroman's house. He's probably got money in there.
A little bit of everything, man. You know what I'm saying? They knew I was Afroman. Then they might have been broke on some dope. They know I got some weed in there or something. Yeah, everybody know he's gone. He's on tour.
But you had never been, like, arrested or anything by this department beforehand.
No.
So I'm just trying to figure out why they would engage in such an outrageous raid.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. One time, my ex-wife, she kicked down my door. I called the police on her. They take a long time to come. They never come. And when when they finally get there, I told them I want to press charges. They told me they didn't have no room in the jail. If that would have been me kicking down somebody's door, first of all, I would have got shot. For some reason, I noticed they always got room in the jail for me. If they ain't got no room in the jail, they'll make me spend the night in the back of the squad car. At first, I thought they was racist, but now that I talk to all the white people that live there, what I realize is they're just corrupt. They might call me the N-word or something, but they just corrupt, dude. You know what I'm saying? They're doing white people bad. They're doing people bad. They're doing tax-paying, law-abiding citizens bad.
It's possible. I really do wonder why they did all this shit, though. Like, I wonder if it did stem from the fact that, like, he was getting this shit called on so much, and they were, like, pissed off about it, and they didn't want to do their fucking job or something. Maybe he complained. I have no fucking idea.
Why we, the people, got to get in there and fix that.
So you think, when you say corruption, that kind of suggests that they broke into your house or raided your home just to steal stuff? Because if it's not racially or fame motivated, like if it's not, racially charged, I'm trying to figure out.
Well, it's a little bit of all of that. Now, who are we talking about breaking in my house? We're talking about thieves or the police?
The Adams County Sheriff's Department. Basically, what was their intention in doing this raid? Like, what was their
They
motivation?
wanted millions of pounds of whatever drug they was looking for.
And they thought you had it?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
And they thought I had kidnapping victims. They thought I had people tied up in a dungeon.
And you're...
It's so funny because, like, hearing that, it's like, that's like, could you imagine being the police officers and you believe that? That seems crazy. Only because if this guy's gone, like, fucking more than half of the time of the year, that's what it sounds like. He's always touring, always going to concerts. Why the fuck? Like, how could you have a dungeon doing that? Excuse me. How the fuck could you have, like, a big dungeon and do that? I guess he was just letting the people die. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. It literally makes no fucking sense to me whatsoever. The argument makes no fucking sense to me at all. I feel like if I had a dungeon in my house, I'd be home every day. Not that I am home every day. Makes no sense.
Kids and partner were home at the time, yeah?
Yes.
And how'd they react to what
okay,
happened?
of course, it was shocking, scary, and traumatizing, to say the least.
What did your kids tell you about how it impacted them?
Like, they don't know if it's just because I'm black or not. They see what being black can bring them. It's like this deep thought thing. It's this unescapable reality. It's like, sometimes when I speak to them, they got this low tone when they speak back. I'm like, hey, how y'all doing? They're like, hi, Dad. And I don't know, I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry.
That's fucked up, man. All jokes aside, that's, like, really fucked up that the kid. I didn't even know the kids were in the house. And it's fucked up that they traumatized those kids and they almost stole that fucking lemon pound cake. That's just fucked up.
Like, I'm sorry. This is what we got to deal with. And I'm sorry. It's just that thing that they got to face. That's why I attack these cops, because I got to make a better world for my kids. I don't want these people knocking on my kids' door.
Yeah, it's fucked up, man. They traumatized the kids, too, walking around with guns, traumatizing kids. You don't know. One of those kids could have gotten shot. It's fucking terrible.
Like that. I did what I could. A turtle goes in his shell, a skunk stinks. Well, I'm a rapper. I rap my ass off about them damn cops, you know what I'm saying?
A skunk stinks. I love that, man. I love that.
Because I don't like what they did to my children, speaking and smiling at the school, but just showing up to shoot their daddy, You know what I'm saying?
How many kids did you have living there at the time?
2.
How old were they?
Well, they're 13 and 16 now. So what would they be in 2020?
He does have kids. What the fuck? Did I say he didn't have kids before? The hell's the matter with me? I'm stupid.
22.
Around 11 and like 9 and 12.
Yeah, there it is.
You mentioned that low tone. You noticed like emotional and psychological changes.
Yeah. I know deep depression. Stuff that depresses you. Just knowing we're all going to die one day. Everywhere you look, just know.
Yeah, I guess so. But for a kid, that's not really a concept. You know, it's so funny. I've said this before. I forget when I realized that I had mortality. I remember when I was a kid, man, I was just like, shit, I'm gonna fucking live forever. I didn't fear death. You know what it was? I went from like, you know, being a kid, having this mentality of like, oh, I'm gonna live forever, whatever. Pain doesn't exist to me. Like, pain exists, but like fucking mortality doesn't exist. I'm the center of my own world. I went from that to just being like depressed and hating life and just masturbating a lot and just like fucking jerking off and just that was my drug of choice. So that was a pretty smooth transition. So I still didn't care about like living or dying, you know. And then I met my wife, and I was like, oh fuck. That's when I started to care, and my mortality became very real. And I started eating a salad and broccoli because, you know, I want to stay alive longer. That's fucking crazy.
Knowing you a target, just knowing that a heat-sinking missile of hate is following you through your whole life. And then when they realize, you know, like, damn, this is the path I gotta walk.
And had you more or less been able to shelter them from that reality prior to the incident?
Yes, you know, I live a law-abiding, I don't grow my kids up in South Central. I'm a law-abiding, tax-paying citizen. I got land. I don't want them living in an apartment complex and fighting with the kids next door and walking through gangbangers trying to get home from school.
Oh yeah, man, roughage.
Yes, we go pick them up from school. We don't even want them riding a bus.
It goes back to what you were saying about that intentional community or micronation you wanted to establish.
Man, my kids need somewhere that nurtures them mentally, physically, emotionally. You know, you raise corn, you raise cotton, you raise kids. And as I raise them, I don't want them getting damaged and traumatized. I want to give society some good people. So cops showing up with guns and I didn't do nothing? No. Man, think about your kid. You want anybody throwing your kid on the hood of a squad car, kicking his ankles, telling him to open up his legs? You might lose it, brother. If you literally watch your biological blood child getting whatever by some police officers, you might be willing to give up the ghost. Like, you know what? This memory is not worth living for the rest of my life and having. To the point where, man, you know what? Watching you do my daughter like that, I'm gonna have to go ahead and get down with you, brother. Yeah, man. I forget the original question. I don't know how far away I drifted away, but...
Well, it's more like, how do these feelings influence your decision to make the songs that you did after the raid? Because it goes back to what your dad said to you when you were a kid, making Harry carry in 8th grade, and kind of how you remain defensive, but when attacked, you don't stand down, but you use creative means to achieve the objective.
Yeah, you know, you don't necessarily want to run up on the police. They was there after me. They didn't fuck with my kids. I just didn't like my kids seeing it. And then if I'm not a bad dude...
I mean, that's fair. That's definitely totally fair.
What's all these rifles and shit out for? You know, like, I seen homicide detectives walk up to the guy they're about to arrest, gun in holster, clipboard down by their leg. Hey, man, you need to come with us downtown, man. We got to talk. They don't run up to a dude like they did me. You know what I'm saying? Even on 48 Hours, you know, you watch a cop walk up to one guy with his gun in his holster, say, hey, let's go downtown. And then you watch him go up to another dude, you know, with the guns all out and all that type stuff, when it ain't necessary. Like, they did all that stuff to Puff Daddy. They brought the tanks, they brought all that stuff, right? Did they have to do that to arrest him? No. They walked up to him.
It's P. Diddy. The P. Diddy, I don't know if I call it defense, but that's a little wild. But I understand what he's saying. You know, probably didn't need that. Maybe they were afraid of slipping on that fucking baby oil. Who knows?
I'm in the hotel, like, how you doing? Let's go. He's like, okay, buddy. So all that shit was for show. That was
probably that one's probably more of a celebrity show, though. In their defense, you know,
intimidation. That's bullying. So they, you know, they was trying to intimidate and bully me. So I was ready to play the bully game with them. And then they lost the bully game with all their AR-15s and Beetle Bailey helmets and battle shields. Who is the biggest pussies in court crying about their feelings hurt? Is it the rapper that don't got nothing but some dirty rap songs, or is it the big bad boys with the AR-15s? Who's crying? I realized they was bullying me, so I bullied them back. And come to find out, they are some bullies, and bullies are usually the biggest wimps. They're unsympathetic, they're inconsiderate, and come to find out he has some kind of psychological effect. So look at the bullies crying, whining.
How'd you feel when you saw Lisa crying in court?
Look here, brother, I'm not trying to bully her. Those tears are fake. She's playing a tough guy. Let's cut the crap. We playing this equality game. We're gonna say men and women are equal, right? Okay, Lisa is equivalent to a man. Hey man, this ain't no time to be crying. Hey man, check this out, man. You wasn't crying, man, when you was in my yard with that AR-15, man. Equal person. Now you wanna play your female card?
It's so funny because I'm like generally with this guy, but then there's all these fucking weird moments where he gets like weirdly like kind of sexist. Like, yeah, she's part of the people. She's part of the, I wouldn't doubt that her tears were performative too. But this whole thing where it's always like this fucking, boy girl shit, it gets so weird.
With your face facing the jury, and I ain't mad at it. You know what a woman cop reminds me of? They remind me of a quarterback. He's a big bad football player until he's about to get tackled. Then he slides. He puts his dress on and he slides.
What did you learn throughout the, lyrical research process that shocked you the most about these group of officers/plaintiffs?
How they were criminals worse than me and they shouldn't be in my house. Like, I smoke a little weed, I chase women, but I'm a law-abiding tax-paying citizen. Brian Newland's a pedophile, his brother's a pedophile. Mike Eastep has an ex-convict for a wife. I believe birds of a feather flock together. I mean, people never said that saying for no reason. Sean Grooms, he lied, said I'm the reason for his divorce. I made his wife my only witness. So he's a liar. Now let me ask you a question. Should a liar be a deputy sheriff? Answer my question, brother. Should a liar that got all of that power and access to your life and freedom, should a liar be a deputy sheriff?
No.
You know what? Morally, probably not. I think that's fucking valid, dude. I think that's a valid thing to say.
He's got to uphold the Constitution.
Amen. So look at these motherfuckers they got walking around in my house. They got a liar walking around in my house. They got a pedophile walking around in my house. They got a thief walking around in my house. And then they got a vandal. They got an insecure vandal that don't even know if I fucked his wife or not.
Did you?
You know what? I'm going to just say yeah.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
It feels better when I say yeah. I think about him flipping off my camera. Yeah, he don't know. He's at home having unnecessary arguments, beating her ass.
That's fucking
You know what I'm
crazy,
saying? I think I might, I seen her. Yeah, I seen her the other day, man. Hey, baby got back. So I don't know. Hey, man, I might have to look into that. I might have to do a little investigation there.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, because Randy gonna fuck up. He gonna fuck up.
So going back to before the trial, right after the raid, what came first? Publishing the songs that you made, or did you try to first reach out to the police directly to get restitution privately for the damages they caused?
You know what? I asked Randy Walters if they was going to fix my door. He said, we're not required to do that. Now, dude.
Why wouldn't you be required to do that? That makes absolutely no sense to me, whatsoever. You do a raid and you don't even find anything. It's like if you found something, I could see why you wouldn't be required to do that, but you don't find anything and you're not going to fucking make this guy whole? That's ridiculous.
I'm black. I'm accustomed to getting done wrong by the police. I just lick my own wounds because I'm accustomed to these dudes doing me wrong. And I know I can't do nothing about it. I'm going to go down to the station and do what? Get arrested and beat up? And I didn't go down to the station. I didn't make a phone call because I didn't want them saying that I was harassing them and they was arresting me. I left them alone. I went back to my little black slave world and started making rap songs. And here they are, the big high and mighty police, all in my world with my fans, friends, and family. I thought they was tripping. I just licked my wounds.
And what was the first song you put out?
I think it was Lemon Pound Cake.
And was there an immediate blow up?
Yes.
What do you think people resonated with in that song? Why do you think that it reached so many people? Do you feel like it drew on a lot of personal unspoken experiences?
People like funny stuff. It was just fun.
That's true. People like funny stuff. They like memes, man.
Funny. I was like, look at this physically challenged officer right here. I said,
Jesus Christ.
Shit like that. And I'm physically challenged, so I got the right to say something about another physically challenged people. We're physically challenged brothers. We can crack jokes the skinny homies can't crack, right? Me and you can crack a joke and know that. I'm like, wait a minute, hang on, homie. What you say, man? Hey, hang on, homie. The skinny dude said something, So I said, look at the physically challenged dude coming in right here. I was like, watch the physically challenged cop. I was like, he wants some of that pound cake. You can go to my TikTok and scroll down to the original post that went viral. I was like, he wants some of that lemon pound cake, man. And that TikTok went crazy. I usually have before the case, I only had 200,000 people. I had to be humble on the stand. I was like, there's other people bigger than me, but I'm all right. I hit a mill last night.
Damn, good for him, man.
This case brought me 800,000 followers in the last 5-6 days. That shit was...
That's fucking crazy. That's a pretty big increase there, man.
Changing in front of me. It was kind of spooky. I was like, hey, every time I refresh.
Yeah, it was kind of frustrating hearing them grill you in court, basically suggesting that because you popped off so much after the media attention around this trial, that somehow you weren't taking the situation seriously enough by taking the creative route instead of just fighting it silently in civil court.
Nah, brother, you know what I'm saying? I'm a black man in America. I don't feel like the court is my friend. I don't feel like the police are my friend. The police officers were invented to keep freed slaves in line. Their job is to do bad things to me. Mexicans are just getting ICE. Black people had ICE. And it's like an internal ICE. They can't get rid of us. So they need a department devoted to fucking with us, doing us dirty and keeping us away from the white population they're trying to protect or whatever. Yeah.
How did you feel about the Black Lives Matter movement in 2020?
Everybody feel like they feel. I don't think people should get mad about a statement. I'm not a part of that organization and none of that. I trip on how the statement Just that statement pisses people off. They say all lives matter. Let me ask you a question. What's the percentage of all?
13.5% of America's black.
No. Now, a lot of people say all lives matter, right? What percentage is all?
100%.
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
All is 100%. All lives matter, but a black life don't matter. Now, let me ask you another question. Do all lives matter?
Yes, but when it's in direct...
No, wait a minute. A black life doesn't matter.
Well, to me, it does.
In America, I have a black life.
Yeah.
So I want a black life to matter. Not only does a black life not matter, the statement infuriates people. The fact that you just want to feel like that. How dare you think you matter? That's how much you don't matter. I'm gonna ask you these questions again. They say all lives matter. All is 100%. Do all lives matter? No, they don't. Because a black life don't matter. 100%. They say all lives matter, but a black life don't matter. So all lives don't matter. That statement needs to be said. I'm not a part of the organization. I heard some lesbians run it and they don't even care about black people. And
Okay. It's crazy. It's only crazy because I feel like this guy he's probably not super on the rope for fucking I don't know, fucking gay people. He's probably not a huge fan. You know what I mean? So like, all right, I hear you. I hear what he's saying.
And I don't even know what's going on with it.
Well, that's the Black Lives Matter foundation / fundraising enterprise. I think the movement itself should be separated from whatever's going on with that, because that kind of became like a talking point for Trump and shit.
I just trip on how the statement pissed people off. It makes you mad when I say my life matters.
Yeah.
The people that say all lives matter, they'll be on a porn and say black lives don't.
He's so hot and cold. Well, I mean, this guy's old as hell, man. Right? Like, I mean, how old is Afroman? Probably like 50. 51, yeah. Right. So he's gonna have some regressive takes. It's expected, but the vibe is overall good.
Don't matter. But when they're in the middle of the Walmart parking lot and that comes off kind of harsh and bad, they'll just combat Black Lives Matter with all lives matter. But a black life don't matter in America. Black men get hung. Police shoot them. They shoot them all the time. One here.
It would be hanged, but yeah.
Not, one here, one there. Oh, the cops get off. Breonna Taylor. A couple of them cops. So one of them, they did.
Breonna Taylor one was fucked, dude, because there was like literally no justifier. I mean, there's no justifier for a lot of them, but I mean, she was like a model citizen.
It's something to one of them, but a couple of them cops, they just let them off.
Well, I think it matters to the institution of America because it's necessary for like sports and entertainment. America as an LLC relies on like black art and labor and athletic ability to maintain some of these different billion-dollar enterprises.
Okay, but what about the black man that don't play sports? What about the black man that don't jump up and catch the frisbee with his mouth? You know what I'm saying? What about the black man that doesn't get the white American approval? Lock him up in prison. Charlie Kirk. We ought to bring back public executions.
All right, that's a hell of a way to start that out.
Right before he got shot, who was he blaming everything on? Right before he got shot, the split second right after he got shot, who was he mad and fussing at?
I'm trying to look for the full context. I come across this like ridiculous clip. Listen to this. This is ridiculous.
Yes, is that fair to say? All right, great. So, do you know how many transgender Americans have been mass shooters over the last 10 years?
So obviously that question is like, hey, it's white dudes that are shooting up schools more than anything else, and you guys overly focus on trans people.
Too many.
Boom. And that's how he gets it. He's like, I don't give a fuck. I hate trans people. Wow, it's tragic that he was killed, but I mean, that energy. The guy who shot him had a trans girlfriend, so.
It's 5. Okay, now 5 is a lot, right? I'm gonna give you some credit. Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years? Counting or not counting gang?
Damn. All right. Well, it's interesting.
Who does he want to have public executions for?
I believe the final question was counting or not counting gang violence.
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Now let me ask you this. Who does he want to have public executions for?
I mean, good question. Yeah, so that counting or not counting gang violence, the point of that was to be like, hey, listen, a lot of white kids are shooting up schools, and when he's confronted on that, it's like, well, it's a deflection to like black people, right? That's kind of the goal there.
Gang members and those who don't abide by the law.
He didn't give those gang members a color?
I'm assuming he means black people, not the Aryan Brotherhood.
Yeah, of course. It's a dog whistle. You can't be explicitly racist nowadays. You have to be racist enough to be like a dog whistling to the community you want while being able to have plausible deniability. So
black life don't matter to Charlie, and Charlie Kirk represents 90% of America. What does Charlie Kirk think about Juneteenth?
He wanted to reverse it or abolish it.
Okay, now
honestly, that's true. I remember watching something about that. That one is crazy. Like, not liking Juneteenth is probably the most. That's like inexcusable racism, because Juneteenth, what the day represents, is slaves getting their freedom, right? That is the commemoration of the ending of slavery. It's marks a day in 1865 when federal troops arrived in Texas to ensure all enslaved people were freed, right? So that one, like, you have no reason to hate Juneteenth unless you are racist. It is the most justifiable holiday in the United States. If you don't think Juneteenth is valid, you are a racist. That's a fact. Sorry.
For Black Lives Matter, would you do that?
No, I like Juneteenth.
What's wrong with me respecting
I think the most fucked up part of Juneteenth is my white wife gets off that day, but not her black coworkers that are like lower on the totem pole.
myself and respecting other spirits outside of my body? What's wrong with that?
Nothing.
So all I'm trying to say is, people say all lives matter, but in America, if you don't play your cards right, you got to know a black life don't matter. If you know a black life don't matter, you know how to move. See, I knew a black life didn't matter. That's why I took the news down to the sheriff's station with me. You hear what I'm saying? If they're going to kill and hang me, they're going to do it live on the news because my black life don't matter to these people.
And that's kind of the connection that I was drawing, not to make it about like politics necessarily, but using the media as a tool for police accountability is what caused the Black Lives Matter movement to gain so much traction as far as the videotaping of the George Floyd incident in Minneapolis. And you as well were able to use your personal platforms to put pressure on the same sheriff's department who acted recklessly.
I matter if I entertain people, I make them smile. So I matter if I continue to do that. And then with all of the clout I got, look at the bullshit I still went through. I'm a celebrity and I still don't matter. $4 million. F this N-word. He doesn't matter. These are sheriff deputies.
That was the total amount of damages the plaintiffs were asking for, is $4 million.
Basically 3.9.
Fucking $4 million for what? A fucking song?
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
How soon after the raid did you drop the first song?
Fast, probably like 2 weeks.
Okay, and then how soon after that did the defamation suit get filed?
Probably like a week or two.
So this shit was happening fast.
Yeah,
Despite the fact that it took 4 years, it happened really fast.
Yeah, they've been suing me for a long time.
So when you first got the paperwork notifying you that you were being sued by the sheriff's department, like, did you ever think that it would get to the point of trial?
Yeah, a sheriff is like a legal Klan member for as I'm concerned. I knew
Jesus Christ.
Everything. I knew everything bad that could happen would. Like, they was gonna go all the way with me, you know. They was gonna sue. I thought maybe they was bluffing. I thought maybe they had dropped the suit. At one point, I thought I might tell them, hey man, look, all of y'all give me $10,000 a piece and I won't sing about you no more. Give me this quick $100,000 right quick and we good.
And what'd they say?
Hell no, came back with $800,000 and I thought that was ridiculous. Then I damn near had a Red Fox heart attack in court when he said 3.9. I'm like, hey.
So that was their settlement term before trial. It was like, give us 800 bands, leave us alone.
It was gradually growing as time went. At first, I think they wanted $25,000 a piece.
That's not too bad, but it's pretty bad still.
No.
That's fucking ridiculous. Why would you give them money for breaking into your fucking house, violating your shit? You know what I mean? That's fucking ridiculous.
Under the circumstance that how you kick down my door and you want $25,000 a piece from me? Fuck you.
I'm just so confused. Like, so defamation, you just made a song about people who did something to you that's documented. How were they able to make a case even to get it to that point for defamation? Like, what was the...
You can pretty much sue for anything, man. That's the reality, dude. It's fucking crazy.
Main thing they said you were lying about?
I don't know. Everything I said, only thing I was lying, maybe Lickum Lolisa is possibly not a lesbian. So maybe I was lying about her.
But parody law should...
Well, that's not lying though, right? That's a misconception. Getting something wrong isn't a lie. Defamation requires like, you have to actually be lying.
Have covered like...
I was just fucking with, like, if I say Lickum Lolisa, I'm up there fucking, you a cop, I don't like you. I'm talking all kind of shit about you. I can say Lisa is Harry and the Hendersons. Somebody put up a wrestler. Oh my God. I think they say she looked like something the Hammer. What's the dude the Hammer? He had that wild blonde. No, it's a wrestler. Greg the Valentine the Hammer.
That's a, Jesus Christ, dude. That's like old school reference on that one. He's got some fucking old school wrestling knowledge, bro.
Greg the Hammer Valentine?
That would make sense though. Fuck, that would make sense. Like, that would make sense for them to like have that old school wrestling knowledge, you know? Like, you just like, it's like it's funny. Like, wrestling is like a really it's a fun time. It's like a whole event, you know?
Something like that. Oh, they got some up-to-date pictures of him. He looked rough. They did like some side-by-side.
Yeah.
My point is this. I didn't, I lied like that. But like everything.
You guys know that Hulk Hogan stole his whole gimmick from some other guy? Look it up. It's real.
Everything else was truth. Okay, I didn't fuck Randy Walters' wife. But just for tearing down my door and being unapologetic, it kind of made me laugh to know that he's insecure about his own marriage and he don't know if I fucked him.
That's true.
Or not. And they're having unnecessary arguments.
Yeah, but you're not...
That is funny. I mean, that is what it comes down to, having an insecure marriage. Although it's interesting because like that's something that shouldn't tear any other marriage apart. It's obviously a joke and like there's nothing serious behind it in any meaningful capacity. And he acknowledges that and understands that, which obviously you should acknowledge and understand that. But I don't know. You think that I don't know. Maybe I can't tie this in very well. Maybe I don't have the point that I think that I have there. But it just seems so interesting that he's so regressive on marriages and like, I don't know. I don't think I have an actual good point here. I thought I did. I was constructing a thought, And I don't think I can like achieve the thought, to be honest with you. So it is what it is.
A reporter or like someone claiming to be creating an act of nonfiction. Like you're
I'm
a rapper.
Dirty rapper with a bottle of Coke 45. I can't exaggerate.
Yeah, but like,
that's
dude,
the privilege of being nobody's listening to me.
Well, that's one of the things they said again. Like they were in. They're like, look at the way this guy's dressed. Like, you take him that seriously? What the fuck?
You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, especially like old rap, like horrorcore shit, like from the Necro early Eminem era. There was like songs about like ripping the fucking president's head off with a chainsaw.
Dude, lemon pound cake. Get the fuck out of here. How big of a pussy can you be, man? Mama's lemon pound cake. And cops don't give a fuck about what you say. Clear the pipe, strap. They walk off. Cry like I feel like a bitch just for talking after he leave. I feel like a bitch because I couldn't say it to his face and squab him and shoot his ass back. You know, and you motherfuckers is crying about what I said when you left. You gonna give me that much power? Oh wow, we finna have some fun.
I'm trying to think maybe like how they got so hurt after the song came out. I wonder if like fans were calling the station and fucking with them and leaving Google reviews and like doing different shit to troll them.
Leaving Google reviews, maybe.
You know, they said they got hundreds of pound cakes sent to him. Like that. They should have took him home. He should have started selling them wholesale. They was obviously fresh and wrapped up and in good shape, man. He just wasn't innovative. He don't got like that thing going on. He's a celebrity. He could go around being like, I'm Officer Pound Cake and have girls with bikinis and feeding them pound cake.
That's true, man. That's a good point. He really could have gotten a lot of fucking shit on that. He could have got a lot of pussy on that.
He could play into it, but he don't got that. He ain't got that thing. Like I tell him,
he's not about that vibe, man. He hasn't got it in him.
I didn't like the name Afroman. I made it work. You know what I'm saying?
So you and Officer Pound Cake are on relatively cordial terms.
We rode the elevator down. We joked about how slow it was. But he genuinely does not like me. He low key got a, and I think I just embarrassed him, and he just egotistical. You know, if we had 30 seconds in the back.
I mean, yeah, I feel like anybody would be egotistical in that moment, but like honestly, think about it. It's a fucking cop, bro. I mean, I said this 100 times. I think that we need cops. Cops are a fantastic institution. They keep people safe. They make sense. They're supposed to keep everybody safe, right? Poor people can't afford their own security, so you get a police officer. It's supposed to, create a better balance between the rich and the poor and all these, 1,000 different things. But then you look at who become the cops. And the people who become cops are fucking 90% of the time, fucking losers. Okay? These guys that got C's in high school. They peaked in high school. They really want to maintain how cool they thought that they were. They got an authority complex. They go around. They fucking wag their dick around. They think that their shit doesn't stink. And if you question them, they get fucking heated. They get heated. And they're used to the locker room fucking chats, man. They're used to like, oh, we're in the locker room. We're a bunch of boys. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, we did something wrong. Let's just stick together. Don't mind the fact that somebody got really harmed because I was a fucking piece of shit. We got to stick together. They have that boys club. They got that boys club, man. That's what cops become, unfortunately. So that's the biggest issue with police officers, not the actual institution. It's the people who go to it. And it's those exact same people who they're so willing to fucking guzzle the cum of rich people because they want to be rich. They want to be part of the cool club. Oh, you got money? That's cool. I like that. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, we'll probably be boys after that.
That's all it takes sometimes.
Yeah, cause he just ain't never had nobody clown his ass.
Yeah.
He grew up in that little county. He's an alpha male and nobody ain't ever embarrassed him.
So I looked into the specifics of the case, like I said, because I've been getting kind of like on my legal nerd type of tip. So it looks like you guys filed an anti-slap motion, which is like a free speech protection motion first. Judge denied that. You appealed the anti-slap motion, which is the process you do when you feel like you got a bad rap, which by the way, the anti-slap appeal process is actually going away this year because the Supreme Court, through a case called Gopher Media, is striking down the ability to appeal an anti-slap motion, meaning if you got a shitty judge and you file a free speech motion and they strike it down, you can't even appeal. You got to go straight to the discovery process, which is going to be a huge blow for,
I don't know what that means, but it sounds bad,
for all journalists, entertainers, anybody in the free speech realm. So anyways, you guys move to the discovery process, exchange all types of text messages, information, do this whole cybersecurity audit. Then you move to summary judgment, which is where the judge looks over the whole process of discovery, and then each side makes their case, and the judge still sided with all the plaintiffs who sued you. So I'm curious, who was the judge, and did he or she?
The judge definitely did not like this guy. You can fucking tell.
Have a personal grudge against you.
The judge was this judge from Pike County. He oversaw those murders of those people. Look up the Pike County massacre. A couple of dudes walked in this trailer with some shotguns. They shot the whole family, kids, everybody. He resided over that trial. For whatever reason, he hates me. He clearly was not on my side.
From the jump.
No.
Oh, dude, you could tell, of course.
The Adams County Sheriff is in the same building the courthouse is in. I mean, these guys ain't buddies. They don't go golfing and fishing together. And, so these guys are friends. All government officials, cops, and government, they're all a big gang. They all hang out with each other and they bully normal society.
True.
society.
I mean, it kind of, logically, practically speaking, it almost makes sense. Because, like, okay, police officers and judges and everything, they're going to be within the same realm. So if you rule against them, they're going to be pissed at you forever. Whereas, like, the other people are, they're going to be gone. The other people that are maybe trying to defend themselves against those people, they're just going to be gone. You're not going to have to work with them every single day. It's just some fucker that got screwed over. You can forget about it. You can lock it out of your brain.
So blah blah.
I'm not justifying it. I'm just saying that that's what the logic is going to be for them.
No, he didn't like me, and no, he wasn't on my side, and yeah, he was on the side of the cops, and yeah, what else is new, and what
It's just so like fucked up.
Yeah, brother.
A judge needs to be able to put aside their personal connections and like whatever type of overlap they have with the police department. They should be ruling like objectively. It's frustrating to think that judges themselves could be compromised.
Yes, dude. Everybody can be compromised, dude. On Earth, this is not a perfect world. Anybody can be corrupt. Everybody got different motives.
Everybody except for me, baby. I'm the greatest.
You got to watch who get where, because you can get done wrong, man. Wrong people on the jurors, wrong judge. He'd helped them all the way he could. He tried to brain.
He's got a lot of micro penis energy as a cop. You know what? It doesn't even matter, bro. Because if even if you have a small penis, like if a girl loves you, you have a huge dick. So it's like these cops, they have small penises. That's not even the problem. It's that they're unlovable because they're fucking assholes and they beat their wives. You know what I mean? Just stop beating your wife, and she'll love you. Here's the play: beat her when you first get together, and then stop. After like a year, and she's like, "Wow, like I love this guy. He doesn't beat the shit out of me." Like it seems like you guys are basically trauma bonded at that point. It's kind of like the meta play there.
Watch him. Ignore the fact that he's a celebrity. He was just doing everything he could to just fuck me off, give me the short end of the stick.
Was there any twists and turns throughout trial? Because trial is like a roller coaster that you didn't expect.
When I heard $4 million,
you didn't know until trial.
$4 million. Nobody told me that. $4 million. $4 million. That was a long deliberation. 8 hours of deliberation. $4 million in the air. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I was having shot after shot of Southern Comfort. Woo!
Was there any testimony from the officers that you couldn't believe?
I was just watching them be unaccountable and unresponsible. And all I could think about was my dad. I had to turn into my dad. You had no business over there in the first place. All of this is your fault. You shouldn't have been here in the first place. Fuck all this shit you talking. Fuck your kids crying. Your kids are crying because you made a mistake in the first place. Go where you're supposed to go. Do your homework. Bust some real criminals. Get out of law-abiding, tax-paying citizens' houses.
True. I mean, I agree with that.
All rivers lead to the ocean. All statements led back to the bottom line. You shouldn't have been in my house at the first place.
And were you surprised that you won?
Yeah, I was ready to appeal because they threw my claims out. So I thought going to court was a waste of time. I'm supposed to be getting money from them, not breaking even, splitting the court cost. No, fuckers. If I back into a lady's car, I got to pay for that. It ain't no me sue her. I back into a lady's car, sue her. She got to.
I mean, it's a good thing because usually I feel like cops get away with they literally get away with murder. Did they ever charge the guy that fucking shot Alex Preddy or anything like that?
Split costs with
no, of course not.
Me? No, that's Debo bullying right there. That's bullshit. My dad said a man stepped on his foot and turned around and asked me, "Hey man, why did you put your foot underneath mine?" He's the offensive person trying to make it look like you the one tripping. Debo bully shit, man.
So was it like a feeling of pure relief when you finally got that verdict or result?
I didn't know what to think. It's Adams County. It's supposed to be the most racist county in Ohio. So, I know people know how to shine me on, "Hey, bro, how you doing?" "All right," because I got high. Okay. They're like, "Yeah, nigger."
Jesus Christ. Crazy.
So, I didn't know what ugly truth they was going to show me. I didn't know what kind of true colors they was going to show me. But even a jury in the worst county in Ohio could see that even though I don't like N-words, this dude is right. The jury seemed like some good people. They probably didn't even say that, but I just didn't know what I was going to get because, everybody got that little flag in their yard with that blue stripe. Everybody's real pro-police, pro-Trump, pro-everything. So I didn't know how they was going to view their opportunity to get.
Fucking so goddamn annoying, dude. You know what? Dude, Trump people trigger the fuck out of me. I live on Long Island. Jesus, I'm slurring my words. I live on Long Island, and it's so funny because yesterday I decided to go to Costco, and I have a shirt. A shirt says "Make America Gay Again," and I haven't worn it in a while. So I said, "Fuck it, let me put it on. I'm gonna wear it for stream anyway." So I put it on. I go out. I go to Costco, and you'd be so fucking surprised. How many people get fucking pissed, but they don't have the balls to say anything to me because I'm 6'4", and how many people are fucking so ecstatic about it. I got some guy with a kid in a man bun. He's like, "I love your shirt." A couple of women, they were like, "I love your shirt." They started talking about how they like my tattoos. I had to be a man of God and not respond because they were thick white girls. And, I was like, "Oh yeah, thanks. I've had them for a while." And then I kind of I didn't ignore them, but I got to give them the cold shoulder. Or else my whole body would be cold. My wife will stab me to death. And that's why I love her. But then there was another girl at Costco. I was handing her my bottle slips, and she just had a fucking attitude. It wasn't like a huge attitude. She wasn't like a horrible person, but you could tell that she didn't like my shirt. You could tell she fucking hated the goddamn shirt. She was just like she was Italian. That's all I gotta say. Italians are so racist. It's why some of my best friends are Italian. Yeah, man, I fucking hate Trump support. I fucking hate all these motherfuckers. I hate them so much. You fucking idiots, dude. I don't mind Republicans. I fucking hate Trump supporters. These people are so fucking dumb. There's not a redeemable quality of this administration. These stupid motherfuckers are still like, no, just wait. It'll get better. Yeah, when everything, like, it gets better once what Trump wants to do goes away. It's like he puts tariffs on and then he removes the tariffs. And then it's like, see, things are better now. It's like, okay, dude. Like, it's like you stabbed me with a pencil and took it out. Thanks. Things are so much better now.
Get this dude that's been hopping through them little towns and three-wheeling it. I'm pretty sure some people don't want me there.
Do you feel more comfortable living there now that you stood up for yourself and came out on top?
Yes. Man, I believe I could be the mayor of that town. I believe I could run for sheriff.
What's the name of the town?
It's Adams County, but the courthouse is in West Union.
Got it. So you're going to stay in West Union?
Yeah, because if I move, I got to deal with another police department. It's like moving schools. After you beat up all the bullies at your school, do you want to go to a new school?
No, you got to hold it down.
Hell, fuck.
Yeah, I guess you do got to hold it down at that point, huh?
No, goddamn. That's just over with. Now bring the beer and the girls. All right. Let's have the Revenge of the Nerd parties and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know.
Revenge of the Nerds is crazy, dude. Revenge of the Nerds is one of those shows, movies I watched when I was a kid, and it's like they just did not age well because there's like a scene in the movie where a guy just like rapes a girl, and he's considered the good guy, right? So there's this guy, he's getting bullied like the whole movie. I almost want to watch it just to be like, damn, this shit's fucked up. But he's getting bullied the whole movie, so he puts on they're at like a Halloween party or something. And he puts on a Darth Vader mask, like this, jock's girlfriend, and he fucks the girl, and she thinks it's the boyfriend, and he goes down and eats her out and stuff, and she likes it, so that's something, and it's considered a good thing. She falls in love with him after he rapes her. It's just, and everybody's like, "Dad, yeah!" It's like, dude, what the fuck? I mean, goddamn, what's that telling society? You know what I mean? That's probably why we got all these male feminists running around. They're like, oh, they try to be nice guy. They try to be the nice guy. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be the nice guy. You know what I mean? I'm a nice guy. Oh yeah, I'll do this for you. You know what I mean? That's like that. That's like the type of energy where you fucking put a pill in someone's drink. Just to be clear, because I know I'm talking shit about male feminists. I hate red pill shit. Okay, more. Male feminists are gay. You're fucking rapist. So, Anyway, tangent over.
No, I might build me a house in Palmdale. California, it's all good. At the same time, it's all bad. The wrong dude spots you, don't like your set, don't like your skin. I don't have to worry about gang shit in Ohio. All I got to deal with is racism. But in California, I got to deal with racism, gang tension, everything. So now when my son get out of high school, I am giving up Ohio winners. I'm done. I'm a tough LA boy, but I have lost this fight. I can't take it no more. I feel like Muhammad Ali when he was holding up that glove against George Foreman. Like, damn, cuz, I'm a bad motherfucker, but goddamn.
So you mentioned your kids a couple different times, and you said one of the reasons you wanted to fight back was because you saw the change in their mind and their life after the incident. Do you feel like you've seen them change for the better now?
Yes.
After the victory?
Yes. They are proud of their daddy. They both have afros. They wear them with
I mean, that's great. I love that.
pride. They know to love everybody, not be rude and cocky, but they're loving themselves and everybody outside of their bodies. So they're in good spirits.
Right, and that's a beautiful thing, man. I like that.
That's what I want you want your
justice is served, man. Justice is served.
Children to be happy. You can be happy and your kids depressed.
Well, I mean, not for nothing, but if they got the wrong judgment on here, what do you think that teaches his kids? His kids that are still growing up and learning about the world, teaches them that the system's never going to work for you, so you might as well say fuck this system. So
created a little human that's over there sad. That has an effect on you. You don't want your child sad. You want your child running through the house, slow down. You don't care. Happy. You want your child happy. You don't want your child depressed and bullied and traumatized.
True.
So you feel like you completed your responsibility and fulfilled your duty as a father?
Yes. I showed them how to handle the police. Obey the law, install your cameras, know your rights, know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Now, when you
I mean, dude, in all honesty, everything aside, all jokes aside, Afroman winning this case is one of the best anti-racist things ever. Because it's listen, people complain all the time about like, oh, well, black people don't do the right thing, you know, oh, I get it, they were hurt by the system, but you shouldn't be doing this, side, and the other thing. Okay. But then, like, you know, sometimes somebody, like the police, will do the wrong thing and they won't get punished. So that teaches them, like, yeah, I might as well say, fuck the system, just do things however I want, deal with problems however I want, who gives a fuck, and I'll just move on about my day. But this time, the police lost. And now these young black people, they can learn, like, oh shit, look, if I actually do things the right way, if I am wronged by the cops, instead of fucking, you know, doing something to try to harm them, I could take the legal route. I can go take the legal route and it'll go well for me. You know? Like, that's actually an option. It's a viable option. So I mean, listen, the Afroman case, I think, is a lot more important than people realized. A bunch of cops broke into his fucking house on a bullshit warrant. And they broke a bunch of shit. And then he made a song about it because he was pissed off because they wouldn't pay the damages in return. And, you know, he deserved the judgment he got. And that's a good thing for America. That's a good thing.
Living right. When you living right, you don't mind telling the truth. When you living wrong, that's the last thing you want to tell.
True.
So I tell my kids, live right and then tell the truth and tell it hard.
And then, so back in 2024, you ran for president. How do you think the current guy's doing?
There's things people don't like about me. So I can pick the things I don't like about him.
Trump.
Yeah. I can tell you the things I like about him. I can tell you things I don't like about him.
I mean, I'm curious about what you could possibly bring up that you might like about him, but yeah, let's hear it.
Is there anything good you think he's doing?
I haven't been watching the news lately because I've been the news here lately. So I didn't watch the news when you're on the news. Last I heard, we went to war with Iran. And that's the last I heard. I turned the TV off because, like, you know, then I had to go to court. I had my own drama. You know, like putting the Civil War generals back on all of the places, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, you want to take him down?
Yeah, I'm a slave. Now, I'm a slave. Do I want to see a Confederate general's name anywhere? If you was a Jewish person, do you want to walk by statues of Hitler?
I mean, yeah, he's right about that. It is very interesting though. Like there are some conservatives like that want to, you know, they sit here and they say that, like, actually, you know, the Democrats never changed parties, and Democrats are they're the party of racism and everything. But then they all of them don the Confederate flag, which is what Democrats used to don when they were the racist party. And then those same motherfuckers, you know, they sit here and say, forget your history, except when they want to remember the history of, like, racism. You know what I mean? It's just so fucking weird. Like, what are you doing? It just makes absolutely no sense to me. You guys are dumb as fuck. And also, they're the same people that say, like, oh, don't give out participation trophies. And, like, what are Civil War, you know, Confederate Civil War monuments? They're fucking participation trophies. Oh, we lost because we're fucking pieces of shit that wanted slavery. But can we please honor our history? No, L. Big L, you're a loser. You guys wanted slavery and you lost the war. You're a fucking loser. The fact that you're even like, oh man, can we please have a monument for that? You're a why the fuck do losers get monuments? I don't understand that. That makes no fucking sense to me. Truthfully, I don't get it. You guys took the biggest fucking L in American history. So a lot of hypocrisy going on from these fucking morons.
Not be upset.
You know, I'm not going to cry if you put one up, but do I want that? No. You know what I'm saying? So if we're going to be one country, we shouldn't glorify the things that made another group of people feel bad. If I'm going to say, look, we're all going to be Americans. Well, I don't want things in America to make a group of people feel disrespected. If I tell them I'm going to include them, then I don't want nothing around to offend them. When I invite a woman in my house, I turn too short off.
That's actually really good advice for the guys out there.
Yeah.
He turns what off?
When I invite a woman in my house, I turn too short off.
Oh, he turns off rap music because it makes him uncomfortable. He probably says some sexist thing about women as well. So, that sounds like good advice. Yeah, cool.
It's really good advice for the guys out there.
Yeah, when a woman comes over your house, the too short tape stops. All right.
What do you play for the ladies?
Keep Sweat, something that won't offend her. I tell a girl, when I get with a girl, I tell her, look, there's a time for everything. I said, I'll play Too Short when I'm with my buddies. You can play Beyonce, You Must Not Know About Me when you hanging with all your divorced friends. All right? But when you get in this car with me,
That's crazy, man. I don't know, man. Something about 50-year-old, like, unmarried people, that's just I'll never relate to.
I'm not going to play a song that's going to motivate a conflict between me and you. When we get in this car, we going to play I Got Sunshine. It's not just the slow tempo that makes
on a cloudy day, baby. It's Temptations.
Love songs. It's actual love lyrics. Like, when you get with your girl, y'all need to sit down and listen to the lyrics of a song. Is this song going to make us argue? Is this song going to make us argue? A couple need to have a couples playlist.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I don't have that song. If I could, I'd play it, but you know what I've been into lately? For some reason, Cool for the Summer. It's just been, I've been bopping to it, dude. You know what I mean? Demi Lovato. It's incredible.
So when you get in the car, here's a playlist of songs that we agree on. So back to the point, if I'm gonna say, okay, look, black people are gonna be a part of America. Well, I'm not gonna have something around that disrespects black people and offends them. I don't like renaming all of the places Confederate generals, and I don't like giving police officers 100% immunity. Can you imagine these people that had me in the court getting 100% immunity? Liars, pedophiles, thieves.
Well, I mean, the president is all of those. So I'm only 99% sure he's a pedophile because he won't release the client list. Wow, you know.
With 100% immunity and a pistol? No.
I do like the way that he's presenting the case, though, because a big thing is like respect. It's, you know, try not to be disrespectful. And some people are a little too sensitive, and you know, they get offended when you're trying to be respectful and you're unintentionally disrespectful. You know, somebody where you're trying your best to respect them and then maybe you accidentally use a pronoun. That's not disrespectful, right? But, you know, there are things in our society that are disrespectful. Like, we shouldn't speak with disrespect. And it's the same people that are like, oh, I like family values. And what happened to respect are the same people that I hear justifying disrespectful shit. You know, listen, I don't think illegal immigrants should be in America either. But I would never say that they're coming here and they're stealing our jobs and raping everybody and they're all sending their worst and they're fucking eating cats and dogs. That's insane. That's just disrespectful. They're people. You know what I mean? And that's a lot of this administration's rhetoric. And people are like, oh, who cares? It's just like, I don't know how to talk to you, man. Like I grew up with a baseline level of like respect. And so, you know, even if I disagree with certain people, you know, that what we're saying here, it's just I don't know how to talk to you because like we weren't educated the same. I was educated to be an outstanding citizen. You were educated to be a fucking loser. And I don't know how to talk to people like that. So I don't know how to talk to people who say, you know, dumbass shit like that. I really just don't know how to talk to you. You obviously, like, you know, it's those are the same people that always talk about how like, oh, the third world is sending their people here. It's like you guys have, in your logic, really like fucking third world behavior, man. Like that shit's crazy to me. The way that you fucking interact and like fucking talk to and about people, I just find it disgusting. Yeah, personally.
Oh, so that's what I didn't like about Donald Trump. That was the real main thing I didn't like about Donald Trump. Is 100.
It's funny because this guy's like very not political, and like even his opinion, it seems like one of his biggest things is just like he doesn't get super worked up about things, you know. And even he's like, yeah, I'm not a big fan of Donald Trump. He's not outraged, which is fine. I don't think everybody has to be fucking outraged, but he still even knows, he's like, yeah, man, you know, I'm not a big political guy, but Donald Trump is not great. He fucking sucks. He's disrespectful. I don't like it, but it is what it is. I'm not going to get worked up over it. This is a good attitude to have.
% immunity to people who could possibly be pedophiles, thieves, liars, you know, criminals, camouflage as law enforcement.
Yeah, it's not that hard to become a cop.
Well, we need better character.
You just got to get seasoned high school.
In the police department.
And what's that?
Better morals. Be a good person.
Yeah.
I thought I was a bad person. I got better character than those police officers.
I guess the problem is, in my experience, it seems like the kind of people who gravitate toward wanting to be cops are the exact kind of people you wouldn't want to be cops. Like,
yeah, they're pieces of fucking shit. They're losers. They get seasoned high school. They're fucking losers, man. Yeah. I was just saying that before. 100% agree. 100% agree.
Well, that's why
disempowered and bullied.
That's why there should be a board,
like a civilian approval board,
right?
Almost like jurors that like question a cop and be like, "Do I want this guy pulling me over if I'm going 5 above the limit?"
Right. Like we need to pick cops like a girl pick a guy to fuck her.
Well, thanks so much for your time, man.
Well, I think too, there's something in there where like we were taught to like revere cops. We were taught to revere cops, and I don't fucking like cops. Honestly, I really don't like police officers. And people are like, oh, if you don't like police officers, are you going to call the police? Don't call the police. You know, I don't like my fucking health insurance either. It's incredibly expensive. I still use it, you stupid dickhead fuck. So don't give me some dumbass argument. I can sit here and be pissed off at the police officers. You know, I get pissed off at the McDonald's guy when he doesn't do my pickles the right way. That guy gets minimum fucking wage, right? When the police, they go and they fucking spend enormous amounts of money, or the police in my area, top pay is like almost $200,000 after 8 years as a fucking entry-level position of a police officers. That's insane. These guys get like fucking insanely good healthcare, right? Like that's abuse that's a waste, fraud and abuse, in my opinion. You're fucking just shitting money. They sit on their fat fucking asses. You call them for some kind of domestic dispute. Like my mother-in-law had an issue with you know, her ex-husband. They don't give a fuck. They don't even go in the house and check the damage that was happening. These people don't give a fuck. So like, yeah, I pay for cops. And I still fucking hate cops because every cop I met has been a piece of shit. And there's been one chill cop I've like ever met. Most of them are abusive pieces of shit that are incredibly low IQ and didn't do very well in high school and always looking for a way to game the system. So it's like, you know, fuck, you know, I respect the institution, but fuck cops. Usually they're fucking assholes. And I'm going to call you when I'm having a fucking problem. It's because it's your goddamn job. You okay? If I'm an asshole to the guy who fucking makes my fucking McDouble, he still has to make my McDouble. So I don't give a shit. Okay, but I'm not an asshole to him because you know what? The McDonald's guy's working harder than you fucking fat asshole. And yeah, I get it. I'm fat too. That's how I know you're fat. Because I know fat. Fat knows fat. You know? So fuck you. You know, we don't have to be taught to praise the fucking people who got C's in high school. That's who we're taught to praise? Yeah, I did really poorly in high school and had a fucking complex, and I think people should listen to me indiscriminately, and I can abuse my fucking power. I'm gonna take, you know, it's like, fuck, what the fuck? What are we doing here? Why would I do that? Like, what the fuck? Why would I honor you? What have you done in your life? Beat your wife constantly? Yeah, okay, incredible. We love that. Ridiculous.
And yes, congrats on the victory. I appreciate it. Hope it was a good interview for you.
I hope it was one for you.
It was amazing.
All right, I hope so. Because I was high and I was, you know,
okay, it's fucking crazy.
Drifting from the original question.
You were drifting, but you were saying cool shit the whole time.
Okay,
so
brother.
It was dope. Yes.
Hey, edit it to make me look good, man.
Right,
Whoever edited, man.
Thanks,
funny.
man.
All right?
Yeah, dude. Thanks so much.
Brother.
Channel 5 Live worldwide, Hollywood and Vine.
Fuck the authority, Channel 5 News.
Channel 55. We don't fuck with custers. 5 is the best number.
It's incredible. I go. Okay, that's crazy. Interesting video that came up next.
Officers.
Anyway, good video. I'm happy that we stuck around and watched it.